Another arcade talk and Star Wars review. Hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you're at in the world. Hope you're having a great one. Welcome everybody to the stream. Hope everybody's doing good tonight or evening. You guys have a great one today. Hit the damn button on my keyboard. Tonight we're going to be talking 80s toy commercials, as you saw on my thumbnail and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys sit back and have some fun. And got to bring in Papa Brad. He is in the stream tonight.
Hey, what's happening?
Welcome.
What's happening?
How you doing?
Good to see you. Man, I'm awesome. Glad to finally be on a stream with you.
I know, man. It's awesome. Finally got you on here.
The 80s. I mean, what's cooler than the 80s? I love the 80s. I mean, it was the golden age of arcades.
Yes, it was.
The greatest.
I didn't realize how quick arcades dropped when the 90s hit.
Yeah. I mean, they basically all but disappeared, especially the early 80s. I mean, that's when we got all the the classic, arcade games that everyone remembers,
I know. And
Donkey
at the
Kong,
time,
Pac-Man, Galaga, Frogger, Missile Command, all those games.
Mr. Do, which I got back there.
Mr. Do, Dragon's Lair, Tron, Star Wars. I mean, the 80s to me were really a golden age for that's where classic arcades came from.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going through it, you don't really realize it, but it's like you look back, it's like, dang, all these games came out like boom, 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 all together, just about.
I know. And then arcades were everywhere. I mean, you could go to Kmart and they would have an arcade game sitting there. You could go to a doctor's office and they might have an arcade. Arcade games were every 7-Eleven, every little quickie mart had games,
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, arcade games, were everywhere in the 80s. So.
Yeah, I remember going to our local Pizza Hut, man, playing sit down Pac-Man. Good way to pass the time. But yeah, and really, I guess kind of say pinball was the 70s. It was a kind of a golden age, but pinball seemed like they stayed longer.
Well, pinballs never really went away. I mean, arcades became more popular than pinball. Pinball's a lot of maintenance. So when arcades hit, like people that were doing games, it was a lot easier, They break a lot less. Pinballs are a lot of maintenance because it's a mechanical machine. I mean, things are going to break. It's just the nature of the beast. Yeah,
and that's one reason I'd love to have a real pinball machine, but that's what I'm afraid of getting a real pinball machine.
Yeah. It's funny though. It's funny. You would think that, but people get so comfortable. Like when I go to events and stuff and I see pinball people, I mean, they have no fear. They just slap that machine open. I think it's something you just learn how to do,
over time, I guess.
Yeah. And when machines go down, there are people that just go around and fix each other's games. So, but it's nothing to be scared of. I mean, it's a little bit to learn, but
Well, I guess nowadays with YouTube, you got all those how-to videos. They probably walk you through almost everything.
Yeah. What's happening, Goofy Foot?
Oh shit! I forgot. I didn't bring my comments up.
Let's see who we got in here. Let's see. We got Brooklyn Menace, Goofy Foot. Welcome.
Hey, Goofy Foot.
Good seeing you.
And good seeing you guys, man. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Brooklyn and Goofy Foot. And for some reason, Goofy Foot, I always want to say Goofy Feet. I don't know why. Last week I messed up almost every time, I think.
Because you have 2 feet.
I know. It's like
singular. It's a singular foot.
It's ingrained, the feet.
Congratulations, Goofy Foot. You earned a wrench.
Yeah, you got one too, Papa Brad.
Yeah, thank you.
I did. Like I said, it's been almost, I think it's been 2 years since I streamed.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome back. I like your Star Wars in the background. That's brand new, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your review. Great job on that review. Look at my Star Wars. Can you see my Star Wars?
Oh, yeah. You got the...
You see what it's running?
It's some racing game. What is that?
Daytona.
Oh, it is Daytona?
Daytona, USA. Yeah, right now.
Nice. So what you got in there? I know Kong...
it's just like a Dell Optiplex computer with a graphics card. And
you actually put a PC in?
Yeah, it's a big box build, but it's a slick setup.
Nice. Yeah, you get the Kong front panel.
Yeah, Kong's Russ helped me mod it. It came out really good. So
yeah, I really like that. actually just got
Well, I like the original. The original was great too. I love the original. It was great. It's, you know, the only thing better than a arcade 1-up Star Wars is a B Kong modded Star Wars. But you know, it still was one of my favorite cabs. The emulation on the Atari Star Wars was done really well. Code Mystics did a fantastic job. Like I know people that collect real arcades that buy a Star Wars arcade 1-up and put it in their arcade.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty legit, you know. To me, that was like a high point for arcade 1-up. It's one of my favorite ones, you know.
And that's the only one really that I can think of. They limited it. I mean, they limited it the first time, and then they limited it to 3,500 the second time. Mm-hmm. It's the only cab I know they really did that to.
Yeah, I don't know why they limited it. It's like, do they not like making money? Because like, what's more popular than Star Wars? I mean, Star Wars is like you know, it's hugely, you know, it's just popular, you know.
I mean, they don't limit, or they limit Star Wars, but they didn't limit like Dragon's Lair, which had a smaller audience, I think. But yeah, it's just weird how they did that. Unless Dragon's
Lair, though, it's like a pattern. Once you learn to beat it, you can beat it, you know. But it's a great game. It's a great game.
With Star Wars or
Dragon's Lair, you know.
Yeah, I finally beat it.
Yeah, awesome. Congratulations.
I beat it a bunch of times. Now, what I did is I did unlimited.
Yeah, that's how you got to learn. That helps to learn for sure. Yep, and you got to play it. You got to play it a lot, you know, to be able to get the patterns and stuff. But it does. It does have. There's actually a logic to it, and it is basically a pattern that you follow to play Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, it took me a while, man. even unlimited. Because at first I tried to do three turns, whatever. And then I did 5, and I'm like, I still can't get there. I was getting closer. Then I was like I got to go unlimited. And then once I beat it, figure it out, then I'll go back down to 5, and that's what I did. But Goofy is fine. Nice.
So what are we talking about today?
Okay, want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. Cheers.
Cheers. You got Mickey Mouse. I got Pittsburgh Penguin hockey.
Awesome. Pittsburgh Penguins. I used to live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you told me that.
A long time ago. But
let's add this in there real quick. Since Goofy was talking about this.
Micro Machine presenting the most miniature motorcade of Micro Machines. Each one has dramatic details, perfect turns, precision paint jobs, plus incredible Micro Machine pocket playsets. There's a police station, fire station, restaurant, service station, and more. Perfect pocket portables to take any place. And there are many miniature playsets to play with, and each one comes with its own special edition Micro Machine vehicle and fun, fantastic features that miraculously move. Raise the boatless at the airport marina, man the gun turret at the audience, clean your car at the car wash, raise the toll bridge. And these playsets fit together to form a Micro Machine world. Micro Machine pocket playsets, so tremendously tiny, so perfectly precise, so dazzlingly detailed, you'll want to pocket them all. Micro Machines and Micro Machine pocket playsets sold separately from the Louvre. The smaller they are, the better they are.
Had to throw that in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was their slogan? They had like a slogan. The Micro Machines.
I think Goofyfoot knows it.
If it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not a real thing.
Yep. And Goofyfoot, I did that for you, man. Since you were talking about it.
Yeah, awesome. The stream. Micro Machines were cool. They're actually still around too. I think Micro Machines is still a toy brand. You know.
Yep, Target. They're in Target.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think. Where'd it go? Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, see right there, Target Micro Machine toys.
Go.
You know, I never got
80's though. That was when they started.
Yep, I never got one though. There's some of them there, I guess. Yeah, Micro Rescue is the police one. Huh, Micro Series. Yeah, I was shocked to see that. They got Transformers. Dang. Is that part of it's micro playset. So dang. They're still running. I can't believe that. I was shocked when I was looking that up.
Yeah. They survived. They survived the 80's. They moved past the 80's. They had so many commercials. They were just always on the Micro Machines.
Yep. Okay, do you want to show your top 5?
You can show my top 5. That's cool. Yeah, I put together a little video with some of my favorite 80's toys that came out. Check it out.
Goofyfoot, they had so many commercials out in the 80's. Yeah, they were always on, like Papa Brad said. Okay, so I'll do Papa Brad's.
1987 they started.
Oh, was it 87?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was too old by then, man. I was 17. That's why I didn't get any. All right, we're gonna start.
Chasing girls.
What's that?
You're out chasing girls.
Yep. Senior year in high school, partying and girls. Well, one girl, which I felt like I wasted my time. But
it happens.
Ain't going there tonight. All right. We will do Papa Brad's top 5. Here. If you want me to stop it at some point, just let me know.
Yeah, it's fine. You can just let it play.
Just last night, I was lost in the jungle with Pitfall Harry, surrounded by giant scorpions and man-eating crocodiles.
Well, Harry and I just grabbed the van, flung through the trees, and over the tar pits and found the jungle treasure. It was really neat. If you haven't met Pitfall Harry, you're missing the year's most incredible video game adventure. Pitfall for the Atari 2600 and in television.
Since I met Pitfall Harry, no other man will do.
Pitfall, designed by David Crane for Activision.
Introducing Burger Time, the home video game where you're a chef being chased by food that constantly disagrees with you. Like hot dogs that have a taste for revenge. Burger Time! Eggs that don't turn over easy. And pickles that are very, very sour. Burger Time! Now for Intellivision, coming this fall for Atari 2600, Apple II, Aquarius, and IBM home computers. Burger Time! From Mattel Electronics, don't be surprised if you're on the menu.
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, a great movie. Now a great video game. A movie which challenged your imagination. Now a video game where the challenge never ends. You saw Luke Skywalker battle the Imperial Walkers. Now bring the battle home. The Force was with Luke Skywalker. Will it be with you? Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back video game. For your Atari and Sears video game systems from Parker Brothers.
Stomper 4x4s, working lights, detailed design, and 4-wheel drive. Battery for each not included. There are 4 models: the Chevy Blazer, the Dodge Warlock, the Jeep Honcho, or the Ford Bronco. With battery-powered 4-wheel drive, you can tackle almost any hill, almost any surface, because 4-wheel drive provides power. Stomper 4x4s with headlights, each sold separately or available in sets. From Shopper.
Masters of the Universe is a sword and sorcery themed toy that was created in 1981 and released in 1982. Origins of the toy are somewhat fuzzy, as several different people make claim to creating He-Man. One thing's for sure, Mattel created an amazing series of action figures that were much larger than Star Wars figures. There were 2 main characters, Skeletor and He-Man. There was also a line of other characters. Each figure came with its own comic, which told some of the story. I have the power. Let's check out a commercial.
He-Man, He-Man. Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor is his enemy.
He-Man, He-Man.
Here's He-Man, Skeletor, and Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together.
You're doomed, He-Man.
Oh yeah? Watch this action, Dad. Now I have the power.
He-Man and Skeletor each sold separately. Castle Grayskull also sold separately from the Masters of the Universe collection from Mattel.
What's this? Imagine this going on your Saturday morning cartoons. That would be Gauntlet in the arcades.
Fantasy adventure from Atari Games. The most fun a quarter can buy.
I love Gauntlet.
The Garbage Pail Kids was a series of sticker trading cards produced by Topps.
Who dis?
They were released in 1985. They were designed to be a parody of the Cabbage Patch Kids, which were super popular at the time. But these cards were super cool because they had a lot of gross out things. And every card had some kind of crazy image. Lots of trademark infringement. But the original Garbage Pail Kids cards, I remember, were real popular in the 80s. Garbage Pail cards makes my list of the coolest toys of the 80s.
Play to win. You never lose. and 7-Up's the one you choose. It's a natural kind of taste. Nothing else comes near. 7-Up cools your thirst. 7-Up, the difference is clear. That's what only it can do.
Drinking some 7-Up, play some Pac-Man. I'm back in the 80s.
It's a clean, refreshing taste. 7-Up, the difference is clear.
Like a pizza.
7-Up cools you. 7-Up soothes you. 7-Up, the difference is clear.
Round the world, the difference is clear.
There she is again. And that's the end.
That was it, man. Got to end it. Anyway, yeah. For me, early 80s, you know, the arcade games were so much better than anything we could play at home. But this game to me, and this is a real Activision Pitfall. This game to me was really way ahead of its time. It was a really great game. Still play it. Yeah, I still play it. I love it. Pitfall. You know, the early 80s, Atari was the king for the video game machines, you know, until, you know, that changed later on in 1985. But for the early 80s, Atari was king.
Yep. I had tons of games, and Pitfall Harry, man, was one of them, man. I never beat that damn game, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I have like a couple hundred Atari cartridges. It's something I collect big time. But
man.
yeah, I love retro games, you know. I mean, it was like they had to do a lot with they had to make the gameplay had to be good without having a ton of graphics, you know. So
Yep.
I really do have a soft spot for retro games.
Man, my mom threw all of our games away for the 2600, man. She's like, well, their 2600 doesn't work anymore, so bloop, there it went.
Yeah,
Sucks.
yeah. Well,
I had a bunch, especially I was the last one left in the house. I was the youngest kid in the house in late 80s, or I guess it wasn't real late, but you can find them for like $1 or $2.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's still Atari's cheap to collect, pretty much. I mean, most cartridges aren't that much. Like between, you know, there's a few ones that are more valuable. Most of them only, you know, between $1 to $10. You know, and some of the rarer ones could be more. But you know, the thing with Atari though is the most popular games, the best games, they made like zillions of them. You know, so they're like easy to get. You know, like Space Invaders, for example, fantastic. Still one of the best Atari carts, and it's like super available. You know. Yeah. Combat. So if you have 2 players playing it, even to this day, Combat's fun to play. My grandson comes and plays me Combat. You know, my TV set costs $10. I got it from Goodwill. So, you know, if you're gonna go retro, you go back to CRT. You know, if you're gonna play real machines, you know, like I have real Ataris. But you want to get like the older hardware. It's more fun. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I probably had about 50 games for our Atari 2600. And I had a bunch, man, because like I said, when all my brothers and sisters left, you know, they got real cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like ET, that was like what, $34 when it first came out? The ET.
Yeah, they weren't cheap. They weren't cheap. And you know, the thing was, you know, I never had an Atari when I was a kid, but all my friends did. Like my mom cheaped out. She went and got me an Odyssey 2. She's like, oh, this one's cheaper. This one's cheaper. So I got the Magnavox Odyssey 2. And I'm still scarred to this day. So now I have you know, I don't have a complete Atari collection, but I got most of the games that matter, you know.
Yeah.
I probably got close to 200 games at least.
Wow.
So
yeah, I wish I still had them all in mine.
Goofyfoot says he has tons of Garbage Pail Kids. He said he just bought some about last week. They are re-releasing the originals in Chrome Foil series.
Really?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I love those things. I forgot all about those until you put that in there. It's like, oh man, I totally forgot about those.
Yeah, and that's like on my channel, I like to do a lot of nostalgia stuff. So you never know what I'm going to drop on there. Like yesterday, I dropped a $6 million man action figure. Yep. I just like nostalgia stuff, you know, and that's just something I'm really into. You know, of course, I started YouTube doing arcade tours and moved into doing some live streaming eventually with a show called the iArcadians. which is just an arcade show based on the iArcade. But yeah, I like it. It's a fun hobby, YouTube, you know.
That'd be good. You know, it would be kind of cool, man, to live stream from an arcade.
I know.
That would be awesome. But I don't know. It might be a little noisy in there. That's one thing.
Yeah, they are noisy. When you know, when you turn all the sound on, but that's part of the charm, you know.
Oh,
that's why you have multiple machines, you know. When you turn all the sound on, it feels like you're in an arcade, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I used to love just walking into freaking arcades, man. I just loved it. You felt like you're like in your own universe. It's like
I know, and it's like today is like almost like a renaissance because like we have all this home stuff and it's all so affordable and it's so cheap and it's so good, you know.
Yep.
I mean, I've always been a huge fan of arcades, and you know, I would have never thought I would have an arcade in my house like I do. You know, I actually have 2 rooms, but you know,
yeah, that's what you were saying, yeah. Yeah, I only got 1 room. I only got 5 units right now. Hey, what's up, Dan Z? I didn't see you in there, man. Welcome to the stream if you're still in here. I guess I'll do my top 5.
Yeah, let's see your top 5 next.
I don't have Princess Leia on mine, though.
That's okay. I won't hold it against you, dude.
I saw that on there. I was like, woo, nice. Okay, here we go.
If you want to win the game, you gotta take good aim and get the most marbles with your hippo. Playing Hungry, Hungry Hippos. Hungry, Hungry Hippos.
Hungry, Hungry Hippos is the name of the game, and whoever hippo gets the most marbles wins.
Playing Hungry, Hungry Hippos. Hungry, Hungry Hippos.
I win!
Hungry, Hungry Hippos from Hasbro.
Light bright, turn on the magic of colored light. Light bright, make a face to glow at night. Smiling friends, shining bright, make a sign to say goodnight.
Just pop in the colored pegs and follow the patterns. It's easy to make your favorite pictures and characters, or you can always create your own light pictures.
Light bright, turn on the magic of shining light.
Light Bright from Milton Bradley.
Hello? Somebody out there? E.T. Video game?
It's coming soon, only from Atari. The video game that lets your family help E.T. get home. But only if you have an Atari video game
there we go. E.T.
Here's the new Star Wars X-Wing Fighter and the Star Wars TIE Fighter. Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately, batteries not included.
I'll get you this time, Luke. Reactivate X-Wing.
Both have flashing lights and sound.
Hey, there go the solar panels. And Darth Vader's got away. The Force is with me. Luke Skywalker wins again.
Kenner's Star Wars X-Wing Fighter, TIE Fighter, and action figures all sold separately.
Kenner proudly presents Star Wars Electronic Battle Command, the computerized space battle game.
Enemy scan on. I see you.
Game.
Battle stations.
Red alert.
Star Wars Electronic Battle Command has computer scanners, force units, invisible shields.
Fire!
3 levels of play, basic, intermediate, and advanced.
My TIE Fighter's hit.
Hey, Dad, let's play the basic game. You always get carried away.
That was it.
Oh, awesome.
I still have that thing too, man. That Star Wars Battle Command.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I had Star Wars figures. I mean, they were like, I remember when Star Wars came out, like in 1977. The Star Wars figures are so popular, you couldn't even get them. Like they were like impossible to get. Like if you wanted them for Christmas, you would get like a piece of cardboard that would say "Coming soon, Kenner Star Wars figures. Merry Christmas," you know. And kids were still excited to get it. I mean, it was a different time, you know. It was a different time.
Yeah, it was me and my 2 brothers. So we all 3 got. I don't know how my mom and dad figured it out, but we all got like my one oldest brother. He got all the stormtroopers, Darth Vader, you know, those guys, and then I got like Luke Skywalker, the Yoda and all that, and then my other Han Solo and Princess Leia. I forget what my other brother got. Oh, he got like the bounty hunters. Like
I remember the first Star Wars figure I got was Darth Vader. And it had this crazy, like the sword didn't look anything like the lightsaber. It looked like a little piece of orange plastic.
They slid up and down.
Yeah, it slid up and down. And it had this crazy little thing on the end. It didn't look anything like the lightsaber. And then I remember he had this crazy, it was like a plastic jacket. They were like, I guess they didn't know how to do a cape. And it was like, you look at it now, you're like, look at this trash action figure. But like, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, oh yeah, I'm Darth Vader, you know. But
yeah, we actually made our own capes because we didn't like the plastic capes. So we made our own out of cloth.
Modifying them all the way back in the day.
Yep. Always mod.
Yeah.
Only one was cloth was the Jawas.
Goofyfoot says Rock'em Sock'em Robots was a good commercial.
Yeah.
When I got the toy, he said he was really disappointed. Yeah.
Broke after 5 minutes. See, ours never broke.
You must play aggressive like Papa Brad. Like when I play arcade game, it better have good controls or I'm breaking it right away. Like, you know, I play aggressive. I play real arcades too. So I'm used to like commercial type, like buttons and sticks and stuff, but I play aggressive, you know, and that's just the way I've always played arcade games. Final Capes, Dan Z. Welcome to the chat, Dan Z.
Dan Z. See if I can find it on here. There they are.
So there were a lot of cool toys in the 80s. Some of the toys still stuck around and they're still super popular. Of course, some didn't, you know. You have any of those pictures? Let's throw up some of them pictures. These are some of the most popular toys in the 80s. These were like on the top lists of toys and some of them were still around. Some of them kind of disappeared, you know.
Yep. Oh, what did I do with that? The ones you sent me?
Yeah. You have those pics? Throw some of those up.
All right. Where's my thing? Okay, I got freaking too many. Oh, I think it's this one here. There it is. Oh shit! What did I do? There we go. I don't know why that one came out so
Pound
small.
Puppies, yeah. Pound Puppies came out in the 80s. That was one that kind of came and went. Hey, you're in StreamYards, huh?
What's that?
You're in StreamYards right now, so just do this. Close that. Just drag and drop them into there's a part in StreamYards in your tools that is like overlays. Just drag them in there and drop them.
Overlays. Under presents or
settings? Overlays. It should be on where you put your someplace where you put your videos in.
Video file.
It should say like overlays. You can just drag and drop the whole bunch. Then they'll show real good on screen. They'll show full screen.
I don't see where that's at. I can get rid of the stuff here. Oops, wrong one. Okay, remove.
I'd have to open my own StreamYards, but there's a tab where we can drop pictures in it. I think it's called overlays though.
I remember seeing
overlays or pictures. It could be pictures.
Under present, you got slides, extra camera, video file.
No, it's not under percent. It's where you upload videos and stuff. Well, never mind. We can do it that way. It's fine. Yeah. It just would show the pictures a lot bigger if you did it that way.
I know.
Because you can't really see them because they're too small. Oh, there we go. That'll work.
I remember KBs.
Hit the other profile. That'll put us at the bottom. Underneath where it says, where you put us to the side. Do the one that puts there. There should be one that puts us like. No, keep going. There you go. That's better. That one's better, I think. Okay, this is a KB ad. Christmas in October. Year 1985 was when everything changed. Because in 1985, we got the NES. Even back then, think how much money. $99.99 in 1985. That was a lot of money.
Oh, I know.
That was not cheap. I mean,
nope.
you know, but
that'd probably be equivalent like 150 or 200 nowadays, probably.
Probably easily way more than that, maybe. But if you look at the stuff that was popular in 1985, KB Toys is gone too. You remember KB Toys?
Yep,
I remember from back in the day. But you know, you had your Nintendo was popular. You know,
$100.
Yep, the Ninja Turtles were introduced in the late 80s as toys.
$350. Not bad. Yeah, I bet that Nintendo, man. That
look, like the Micro Machines, transport chopper.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh,
yeah, the Micro Machines. So these were all popular toys, you know.
$10. $10 for that sucker.
Yeah, fire up some of them other ones. Let's see what else we got. This is the original lineup of the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles by Playmates. These were the first Ninja Turtles figures.
Oh, so this is the first set.
That's the first set. That is correct. That's what they started with.
Man, that's seems like all the ones I remember from the shows and stuff. All the cartoons. I mean, we should do 80 cartoons sometime, man.
I know. Uh-oh.
Transformers.
The disappointment on your face when you asked for a Transformer, but instead got a GoBot. I mean, the GoBots were kind of like a knockoff of Transformers, but they were both popular. You know, they both came out of I believe the late 80s. Transformers is still massively popular, I think.
Oh, I know. I mean,
I don't think Transformers really lost any shine. GoBots, I don't know if they're popular, but I know Transformers is.
GoBots still around?
I don't know. Dude, I love that Transformers ride at Universal. Have you ever rode that? That's amazing.
I don't think so. I was Universal once, and
these are called Mad Balls. These were popular. These were like crazy like monsters that were shaped like balls. They had an eyeball. They had a mummy. Mad Balls were super popular in the 80s.
Yeah, there's the mummy one right here. Oh, you can't see it so much. There it is. Yeah, I don't really remember these. I don't remember those.
Yeah, I don't know if they stuck around. They were real popular in the 80s, though.
I know the one thing I was looking at, they were like in the top 10. There's a Nintendo.
Man, there it is. This is the one that changed it all. This is an original advertisement for Nintendo when it first came out. They originally, 1985. And they originally thought no one would buy the Nintendo if it was a game machine. So they made it look like a VCR. That's why it has the weird door and everything.
Yeah.
They wanted it to seem like, you know, more like a VCR. And it came with, you know, the first sets came with the robot, you know, Rob the Robot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They only released it with the robot and the gun at first. But then, you know, of course, people just got the, you know, the console itself, you know, it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. The first one I saw him played just had, you know,
there was really nothing because there was a video game crash, you know. And it pretty much all video games went away. Monchi-Cheese. Dan Z says I had two GoBots. They were CGEAPLY, made like Transformers, had a motorcycle, and a GoBots had a moped.
They had mopeds. I forgot about mopeds. Forgot about the mopeds. We almost got a moped, but
yeah,
my dad couldn't get the financing.
This was the go with Micro Machines.
Oh, that's the Micro Machines.
These are some original Micro Machines, a bunch of the original ones.
Oh, they had like a Bigfoot down here.
Like the first generation ones, I think. Yeah. Back in the day.
Call those things monster trucks.
Monster trucks, yep.
I was in the military out in Kansas, and when I would go home, this was late 80s, early 90s, and I would go through St. Louis. They always had the Bigfoot monster truck outside their where the headquarters for the monster. What would Bigfoot?
Bigfoot, yeah, Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot's still a brand that's popular with the monster truck thing. But Bigfoot was real popular.
Yeah, I used to go by. They would have it outside all the time down near downtown St. Louis.
I always thought it'd be cool to ride in one of those. I mean, those wheels are so big. I mean, they're huge. I mean, those wheels. When you stand by one of those monster trucks, you have no idea of scale, but they're huge.
Yep. Yeah, I forget how much. Because I talked to a person that worked on one of the monster trucks, and I forget now, but he told me how much those one tire cost. It was thousands and thousands of dollars. So when they would pop one of those tires, man, they'd just be disgusted because how much it costs to repair or replace those tires on those fucking things.
Yeah, they're massive,
expensive. I wasn't sure what this. Oh, this trivia.
Trivial Pursuit. Yeah. 1981, a game came out that caught on like wildfire and then kind of disappeared. Trivial Pursuit was a product of the 80s.
Yeah, we had one.
Everyone had. I mean, I had this game. Like, I wasn't really a board game person, but even my family had Trivial Pursuit. Remember, you had the little pie pieces and you had to answer the questions.
Yep.
But Trivial Pursuit was definitely a huge fad in the 80s. 1981 was when it became popular. Was actually invented by some Canadians.
Canucks.
Canucks invented it. Yeah, but it wasn't popular. They got popular in 1981. I think it was like 1979 or it was like right before. It was like 2 years before. But in 1981, it blew up.
Yeah, then they end up having a bunch of different series.
Oh, yeah. Now they have Trivial Pursuit, everything. Yeah. Trivial Pursuit, Star Wars, Trivia Pursuit, whatever. You name it, they probably have it.
Yeah. Yep, Bigfoot in Hazelwood, Missouri. Yep, used to go by it, man, all the time. It was you could see it on what was that road? 70, Interstate 70.
Yeah,
you'd be driving through. Say if you went down because there was a shortcut, you could go. I think it was 270. But if you went through 70, you would actually see the Bigfoot.
Yeah, muscle figures. They were like wrestlers that you put in a garbage can. I remember those. I actually was about to send you. That was the next pick I was about to send you before we ran out of time.
Yep, the robot went into the trash. Went into the trash? Why? Oh, remember muscle figures. I don't remember muscle figures. Linked.
Yeah, they were cool. They were cool.
Garbage can.
They were kind of like molded out of like this kind of like rubber. It was cool.
Do you remember like that one dude who would stretch?
That was a fad. Pound puppies. Pound puppies were popular in the 80s.
Yeah. I forgot all about those.
Yeah, man. You forget. Like, that was a huge thing, man. Those things were popular. Yeah. Like, sold like a gazillion of those. And then it's like just totally disappeared, you know? It's totally disappeared. It was just like a fad.
Yeah, there's a little boxes. I do remember the boxes too.
Looked like a little home that they were in.
Yeah, a little cage, yeah.
Now we're getting into the cool stuff. G.I. Joe figures invented in the 80s. Actually, not G.I. Joe, the minifigures. Like when I was a little kid, we had the Kung Fu Grip. Remember the big ones that looked like kind of like Barbie size? I had those are the ones I had first. But in the 80s, they came out with, you know, like Star Wars action figure size G.I. Joe. And then it became a whole big thing again. So G.I. Joe is a pretty cool thing that came out of the 80s, even though it was invented before the 80s.
You must have been in the Air Force Station. I was in the Army, and I was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas. So I just had to cut through.
Yeah,
I was from Ohio, so
yeah. Dan's right. We just talked about Beanie Babies on the Arcadians retro 90s show. The Beanie Babies were in the 90s, but yeah, it was kind of similar with the Pound Puppies.
Even McDonald's got Beanie Babies.
I know Beanie Babies were popular, and the 90s were super popular. I mean, people were collecting. They were thinking that, I could buy a house with these Beanie Babies. Let me just get enough of them, you know? So now they're probably practically worthless, but
don't take off the tag.
Yeah, don't take off the tags.
Yeah, I knew people that buy them and they want to let their kids play with them.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It was like that whole collector mentality. And maybe there are some Beanie. Now, this is a toy that would never get made today. Check this out.
Oh,
this is the Megatron.
Look at that gun.
It transformed into a real-looking gun.
Yeah.
Now, this is a badass toy. This toy would never be made today. I mean, but look how cool that is. Like, those were the toys that the kids of the 80s were playing with.
Yep.
That's a pretty cool looking toy. You know?
Yeah, we had guns. But yeah, I mean, I wonder how much that thing would cost nowadays, because some people still have them.
I don't know. It seems to me like that would be one of the ones I think would be pretty collectible, but maybe it was super popular. I didn't really look up the price, but when I was looking for cool stuff from the 80s to talk about, I thought this was a good one. Because like it's just something that you would never see again. Like they would never make this toy today.
I gotta look that up sometime, man. See if you can buy one and how much it's going
Megatron. Of course,
there's Megatron.
Yeah, there's the bad boy Transformer that started them all. That's still popular. He's in all the new movies, or in a lot of them.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the next picture.
They had tag protectors for the Beanie Babies, really? Dang, I didn't know that. I have a couple still.
Dan Z says, do they even make cap guns anymore? I don't know. They might, but they're probably bright orange.
Yeah. We'll look that up. Got 2 more pictures.
You know who that is? Your Transformers guy? Put in the chat. Who knows who that is?
He looks familiar. Megatron.
That's not Megatron.
I know.
That's the leader of the Transformers, isn't it? Optimus Prime.
Oh, Optimus Prime, yeah. I wasn't into Transformers. Didn't I have?
It was too late for me. Like when they came out, like I was older too, but I still knew kind of like what kids were into, and that Transformers was huge.
Yeah, I bought my son.
These things were super popular too. Koosh balls.
Yep,
Koosh balls came out in the 80s, and people just love those things. I mean, they're just like crazy. They're still around. But that's a toy. Around? That's a toy that survived. Yeah, they still have sell them you can get them off of Amazon, I think. But Koosh survived.
Yeah, I know you see a lot of knockoffs too.
It was like a fad though. Like it was super when the first came out. Like people were just amazed with it. Like, oh look at this! It's like a ball, but it's made of little. It's just weird. So that was one of the fads. Pogo balls.
Probably see little pieces all over the floor from kids pulling too much.
Yeah.
Haha, I had one of those. The Leon. Oh, squirt guns.
Lil Uzi. He had a little Uzi squirt gun.
Okay, that's it for those.
Just some fun pics.
Yep. Yeah, because some of those things I didn't remember. Let's see. What did I want to look up? I did do Rock'em Sock'em. I didn't play this, did I? And see, there's something wrong with my computer tonight here.
I can be any kid on the block. Oh, yeah.
They're slugging it out. A left to the jaw, and...
my block is knocked off.
And press it right back on. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Press this lever. He throws a right. The other a left. Knock his block off. You're the winner.
Well, next time.
You can Rock'em Sock'em with the Rock'em Sock'em Robots by Marks.
Marks. Ah, forgot about Marks. Rock'em Sock'em. What was the other one I wanted to look up? Cap guns. Let's look up cap guns. See if they still have those. I bet they don't have cap guns. But you never know. Look. Let's look at some of these old ones first, though, man. I mean, look how real that is. This is 2022 unboxing.
Oh, there you go.
So this is from last year, guys.
Okay.
Look how real it looks.
That looks very real.
2022. Look at that. Even got a holster for it, man. Look at that damn thing. I can't believe they still make those. Yeah, I'm surprised. Remember the paper? We had the paper cap guns.
Yeah, I remember that. They came in like a roll, and they were red.
Yep.
Those Western ones,
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe they make that.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, those are later on. Those came out later. I don't know if those came out in the 90s, didn't they? The little round ones like this.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Hobby Hands? Just picked that game up at thrift store. Rock'em Sock'em, Hobby Hands. Yeah, they're basically a weapon, man. Purple drink. Cool old school toy I had was Kabangzer. Wow. Well, remember when everybody had a Rubik's Cube? Yep. And the girls even had Rubik's Cube earrings. Yep. I remember I think I had a Rubik's Cube keychain. Hey, what's up, Angry? I still smell the paper caps. So sometimes it catch on fire, remember? The paper would catch on fire sometimes.
Once this came out, it changed everything. This was the game that changed it all. Remember this game? Super Mario.
Super Mario.
1985.
Man, remember the smell of that too? What year did that come out?
1985.
There it is. 1985. Man, it meant, you know, that, and everybody was playing that when it came out.
Yeah, it was. It's still great. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, it just holds up, you know?
It's like
I could play it all day still, you know? I mean, it's like, it just holds up. It's timeless.
I mean, that was like Fortnite now, you know?
Yeah. That's what they'll say. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wanted to play it, you know? You went to somebody's house, man, if they had it, you'd be playing there all freaking day. All from Jump Guy.
Yep, Jump Man.
You know, that almost didn't happen. Did you know that Donkey Kong almost didn't happen?
Yeah. They wanted to get Popeye.
They couldn't get the rights.
They did get Popeye eventually, but
yeah, because
it was supposed to be Popeye.
Yeah, it was supposed to be something else before that, and then they wanted to do like, cause it was based off a game over in Japan. And then they were gonna, I forget what it was called, but they rethemed it to Popeye for over here, and they had like 10,000 cabinets sitting in the United States, and they couldn't get the license for Popeye.
Yeah. That's why some of the very first Donkey Kongs were red, because it was supposed to be a different cabinet.
Yep. Yeah, they had to come up with a real quick game because they're like, we got these 10,000 cabinets, we can't send them back, so we got to come up with something fast. And their head creator there came up with Donkey Kong and Jump Guy.
Wow, that is cool.
Just think if that didn't happen. Just think they got the license for Popeye.
Yeah, if they would have gotten Popeye, we wouldn't have gotten. I don't think we'd
ever got this, right?
Mm-mm.
I mean, good for them, right?
Well, this was the NES launch title. You know, Donkey Kong was more the 1980s classic arcade, but this took it home. I mean, I remember everyone was impressed when this game came out and you could play this game at home. People stood, they noticed, they were like, man, why do I have to go to an arcade? I could play this at home.
Yep. Still wasn't the same though.
It's not the same, but it still was closing that gap,
Yep. Yeah.
Like nowadays, like there's no game you could put in an arcade that's going to really impress people. Like the time that arcades came out, they were so much better than what you could do at home.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that was like some of the games, I played in arcade. Like, oh man, they're on the Atari 2600, man. It's going to be just like it.
I know.
Get it home.
They did the best they could. Hey, the Atari 2600 was made to play Pong. That was it.
Yeah.
So, the fact that they made so many cool cartridges and they got so many cool things on it is a miracle.
Yeah, but there were some games that were simple enough, like Space Invaders. It was almost like a real.
Yeah, Space Invaders was an incredible port, the way that they figured out how to make it work.
And Asteroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some of those easier games. They actually looked just like the arcade ones, but some of them didn't. But you're talking, they had full blown computers in those.
Okay, here we go. It's time to cheat. You got to cheat.
Yep.
I mean, the first time you saw this, I mean, weren't you? I was blown away. First time I saw, hey, you can cheat. Oh, look what I just did. I just ran off the screen.
Man, you playing this or this?
This is me playing. Yeah, I'm playing this live. This is live, man. This is live. Let's finish this level.
Angry, why you got to rub it in with the Donato's pizza, man?
Sea monkeys. What were sea monkeys?
Those things in
Are they frozen shrimp? What is a sea monkey? What actually is a sea monkey?
I think it was supposed to be shrimp. Some people say
I'd be curious to know what a sea monkey is.
Back of a freaking comic books, right?
Yeah.
Mine always died, man. I think it was a ripoff.
There you go. Oh, yeah, you go. Oh, I missed it. Come on, jump back on there. Right.
Oh, look, this person's Sea Monkeys Live, man.
There we go.
Pop this up here. Do this. Sea Monkeys real quick. Sea Monkey dude. I don't know about the Sea Monkey dude here. What did I get into? Is this it here? Sea Monkey's Baby Nursery. Ah, that's from June 22. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, you're still down there.
Yeah, we're totally spoiled today. Like, now you can have something like this with all these NES games on it, And it's just like, we're totally spoiled. Things are better than ever. You just have so much at your fingertips.
Yeah. I can't. Oh, here's the Sea Monkeys. Let's see. So this guy's saying the Sea Monkeys are living, man.
Yeah, they look like there's something.
So that's got to be some kind of shrimp or something.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Ours always died. Well, we didn't got them like once. There's that. Oh yeah, there's a little thing you would get with it.
This product upper, kids, in Ocean Zoo.
Oh, come on.
Sea Monkeys, remember that?
Yeah, for guys, you got that little. Oh, so those are supposed to be eggs.
So, Keith, did you have Sea Monkeys as a kid?
Oh yeah, I had Sea Monkeys several times. Because unfortunately, they didn't live very long.
They don't. I only did them one time, and I was so disappointed that I never tried it again. But I know some people have minimal success with this product, so maybe we will.
I was always in.
I don't know. I tried it once or twice, and
there you go, Sea Monkeys.
They didn't work. Oh, it's Brian Shrimp. Okay. So those are actual eggs they sent us.
Oh, wow.
Hobby Hand says, I remember I made my own Space Invaders on my XT IBM clone. IBM. Do you know IBM was around in World War II?
Wow.
Nazis used them for tracking the Jews over there. The IBM
terrible.
computers. Yeah. But who knew computers were back then, man? I mean,
they're not really pushing that narrative, are they?
Nope, you don't hear that. But can you imagine who knew computers were around in the 30s? Who knew?
See, this is why the NES was so revolutionary. Look how good this Donkey Kong on the NES was.
I mean, I know exactly.
I mean,
like the game.
It's very close, for home, and that's kind of I think what really put the nail in the coffin of arcades the worst, because home games got so good.
Could be a fun video game. Sea Monkeys. I wonder if they had a game. They could have had a game. X-ray glasses. Oh yeah, I forgot about the X-ray glasses. I had a pair. I couldn't see through shit. That was another one that was in comic books too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in comics. They always had that ad with the guy getting, the muscle man, trying to sell you stuff.
Muscle man.
Yeah, like the kicking sand in your face. There's like an ad that's in a lot of comic books.
Oh yeah, yeah. Here, there.
If you like to collect cool, nostalgic things like I do, you might
up.
like this.
These are my vintage X-ray vision glasses. Now, if you grew up in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, you know exactly what these things are, or what they were supposed to be.
They're just little holes.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get these, you can see through anything if you know what I mean.
Oh, girls' dresses.
Biggest ripoff ever.
But here's the beauty of these particular glasses that I have here, is that they are actually still in their original packaging after all these years. So let's do it first. Let's rip this bag open and let's just see how great these vintage X-ray vision glasses really work. Okay, so here are our
these ones are just made out of cardboard.
Glasses out of
Boom.
the bag. They look
Donkey
great.
Kong, go for a ride.
Sparkle, you know, a sparkle on the cheap cardboard, and that's even a stretch. Probably thick
The
paper,
cardboard.
cheap chintzy glasses. It says right here by Dave. Ooh, you know, hold up your fingers, X-ray vision, bones. Hold up an egg. Yeah, that's what they were trying to sell, so you could look at eggs. Gotcha. Street lights, street candles. It's magic. This isn't magic at all. I can zoom in here a little bit, but as you can see, as I move the camera around from the top of the counter here to the wall, you see nothing. There's absolutely nothing. They've got some little cheapy plasticky thing right in front of the lens, but it's nothing. You can't see crap. But it's a great gimmick. Very.
I wonder how much money they made on those fucking things. This dude.
Quite a bit.
When they were just cardboard. I never fell for it. That's it for that. Galka.
Yeah.
Got it on my Pac-Man back there.
I know. It's cool. Like, did you ever think you would have a Galaga like where you could play it at your home?
Nope.
That was very arcade authentic.
Yeah. I mean, look at it.
This is the NES. And so what we have now is even better than that because we can play very close to arcade games at home, you know. But you could see how you could see how the NES killed arcades because you could play this now at home.
Yep.
It still plays great. But not every game was great on the NES, but there were a lot of good ones.
My kids have more video games in browser they play than I could ever imagine. Yep, that's true. Dan Z, I was too old.
Go back to full screen. Like this was to me. This was the 80s, the late 80s, early 80s were Atari, late 80s were NES, 90s. This is all you got to know here. 90s, the Dreamcast. This is still one of my favorite consoles of all time. This is playing right now. It all hooked up. But this is a Dreamcast. That's a DOA 2.
Hogs are fad from the 90s.
I don't remember these things at all.
Right, put these little, I don't know what we call them, paper or cardboard.
Hogs.
Can tops.
Remember Pog Milk coins?
Pog tower.
I don't remember
You
these.
can take slammers and slam them. Hogs. They're very
Pogs.
Do you remember Pogs?
They're made of cardboard, so they're really.
I didn't have Pogs, but my friend Jeff Rainwater, he was all about Pogs. He was telling me all about the Pogs.
And material.
I didn't do Pogs, but
Plastic.
those are
cool. Were they 90s?
I think they're 90s. They're 90s, yeah.
Yeah, that's
a
why
90s toy. It's a 90s toy.
Tower. I'm just like one of those little.
I remember doing, what was it called, Pong or whatever, into glasses at beer parties.
Beer pong?
Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't good at it. Sea monkeys are like pet rocks, super cheap to make, and the sellers made a bundle. Yeah, most of them fucking died. Mine, I never had any luck. I think I tried it twice. I think the second time they lived. A couple of them actually lived for like a day or two. That was it.
You got a little bit of life.
Yeah.
Get to see some. Did they move around for a minute?
Yeah, it wasn't real long. Nice, got a nice drink there. I got my drink over here. Got my Pittsburgh Penguin.
DNZ's doxing himself. He's saying, "I'm 48 years old." What about fake dog doo-doo at Spencer's?
I forgot about Spencer's.
Remember Spencer's? Now they have what Hot Topic? Like Spencer's? Is Spencer's? Is there still a Spencer's around?
Eatable panties. Do you remember those?
Edible panties, yeah.
Yep.
They had all the good stuff, man.
I know. I love going in the mall. Dan Z, I always wanted to hovercraft on the back of a comic book. I kind of remember. Oh yeah, Boys Life. I forgot about Boys Life magazine. Right next to the X-ray glasses. Yep. What about fake dog crap? Spencer's. Yep. I'm 48 years old. See, you read all these. Mine lived for a long time until the tank got tipped over. Oh no, hobby hands. Yeah, I never had luck like that, man, with the sea monkeys. Boys Life. I forgot about that magazine.
Toys of the 80s.
Boys Life. So much stuff I forgot about it. Oh, there it is. There, Danzy. Candy panties were like rope licorice. Never bought a pair. But the Spencers did, man. I forgot about Spencers. I mean, see Spencer.
Where you went to get your black light poster.
Yeah, they had tons of those. They had
lots of black light posters. They had lots of cool lights.
There it is. There's one.
Yeah, that's what it looks like now. Yeah, okay, cool.
So I think they still do exist.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I don't have one in the mall by me, but it's good that they're still around. That's cool.
Because there's some locations here in Colorado.
Cool.
So are they all just out in Colorado, maybe? Well, Colorado popped up, but
yeah.
So they definitely still exist then. Body jewelry. Oh yeah, they actually got a online.
There you go.
Graphic tees, body jewelry, room and decor, lava. Oh yeah, I forgot they had lava lamps.
Naughty stuff. They have the naughty stuff. Sex and wellness.
We got
drinkware. Drinkware.
Drinkware. Okay, we don't need to get into
Yeah, we don't need to look at that page, dude. You could have skipped that one. Oh, wait a minute.
Why did I click on that? Why did I do that?
They had that in Spencer's. They had that in Spencer's too. Look at the Chucky doll. That's kind of cool.
Star Court.
Common sense. Hello. Hot Topic is actually owned by Spencer's Gift. Dan Z says. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
That kind of makes sense. They're kind of similar. You know?
Gifts and humor. There's not much in there. Gags and pranks. Oh, pregnancy test. Oh, no. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that freaking shock. Pull here, gum. Oh, we're good. You can't get in this.
Oh, my goodness.
Candy. Here's your candy panties.
There you go. You want them, they go. It's a little bit naughty, Spencer's. I don't remember being so raunchy. They're a little naughty there over at Spencer's. Maybe that's why I don't see them in the malls anymore. They're a little bit on the edge there. They're a little bit riding that edge.
I didn't want to show that stuff. I was like,
hey, what do we stumble into? You know what I mean? So
down a road I did not want to go, I don't think.
So 80s toys. Yeah, there's some cool toys I think we showed. You want to do some arcade talk?
Yeah, we can.
Anyone in here into arcades? So what do you think about what's going on right now with a lot of the arcade one-up YouTubers are moving? They seem to be moving towards pinball. Have you noticed that? Like Michael B. the Game Genie he's selling like 19 of his cabs.
I watched that.
He's already sold 10.
Did he sell 10?
Yeah. I think he said on the stream he sold 10 and he wants to sell 19.
So he's got 9 more to go. Yeah, I watched that video last night after I got off the stream with the.
Dude, how shocked were you? I mean, I was literally completely shocked. I would have never thought I would see Michael B selling his arcade 1-up cabs. I mean, it's a noble thing, though. You know, he wants to have a playroom for his kids. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, he's a very huge fan of arcade 1-up for sure. I was surprised, but you know, Dan Z says he loves arcades, but he's kind of disliking arcade 1-up. I mean, I don't dislike them. I just want to see them reach their potential again. Like you know, you look at Daytona USA behind me. Oh, wait a minute, that's Star Wars. You know, I mean, they can do great things, but I mean, to me, they've kind of lost their focus. I mean, how do you feel about I mean, do you want Fast and Furious? Is that a game that really hits any kind of nostalgia for you? Just in the chat, if anyone has an opinion, you can.
I'd rather have Daytona.
Yeah, I would rather have Daytona for sure. You know, to me, it's like the Raw Thrills games are like the games I don't like. Like I don't even consider that an arcade. Like when I go to a Dave and Buster's, they have all those big machines that that you can't even really play them. They're designed where they're just going to take your money. There's no way to get good at them. They're either on timers or they automatically have something that makes it where you lose. You know, and to me, that's not really an arcade game. You know, like the Space Invaders one's that way. Doesn't matter how good you are. You know, it's gonna ramp up till you lose, and there's nothing you can do about it. That way, you have to put more coins in it. But original arcade games, you could get good at them, and you had a chance at least. But now they don't even give you a chance to do that, you know? I'm with Dan Z. I want 1980s arcade 1-ups. Man, where's the Robotron? Where's the Q*bert? Where's Defender in a 3/4 scale with correct Defender controls? That's the arcade 1-up I want. I mean,
yep.
I have all the fighters. I can play any of the fighters online. I got a Killer Instinct. I got a Big Blue that plays Street Fighter series games. I got Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's the Marvel series. And those are cool, but what I really want is more 80s stuff. You know? That's what you were kind of talking about on your last stream I watched. You're saying, you know, why don't they do something like Spy Hunter? You know, that would be a cool game. You know, some stuff with unique controls. You know, Q*bert is worth doing. I'm going to tell you why I think Q*bert's worth doing. It has unique controls. And Q*bert is instantly recognizable, just like Pac-Man. Like you show someone a picture of Q*bert, like just a normal person that's not into all this arcade stuff, they'll say, "Oh, that's Q*bert." Yep. So it's like something people know. I don't. They have the license and they're tying it up and they're not doing anything with it. It's like free Q*bert. You know, that's just how I feel about Q*bert.
Free them.
That's like they're afraid, like because it had a pinball knocker, they're afraid to do it. A pinball knocker is not really that much of serious technology, you know?
Yeah, but you don't
like an on-off switch, you know? There's nothing to it. Get it done already.
I mean, you don't need it, though.
You can't play it unless you have a machine that's set up for it, like with the diagonal joystick. A Q*bert would be a machine worth having because there's nothing that's set to diagonal joysticks. There's maybe 5 or 6 games that use that control setup. Pole position. That was a good one.
That'd be a good arcade cabinet.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, they could do Q*bert. Because like I said, you know, like Dragon's Lair, you know, you got a couple games. Q*bert.
They could do Q*bert. They could do Q*bert's cubes, you know.
And then fast, challenging.
I know the problem is the faster, more challenging Q*bert. Yeah. The thing is they don't want to mix brands, but really they could do Congo Bongo too, because it also had diagonal controls. But it's a different title. It's a Sega, you know. But I mean, it does have like a real Congo Bongo machine. The controls are set up diagonally, just like Q*bert.
You know, like what's his name? Somebody yesterday in the chat was saying that they have
good Congo Bongo on iArcade. They do have a great version of it on their arcade version.
You know that other because even my Mr. Do
Q*bert is worth getting.
Yeah, my Mr. Do, the joystick I used. You have to go underneath, and there's a bracket. You could change it to to the square position or the diamond shaped.
Yeah.
But somebody was saying in the chat yesterday that they actually have one where you can do it right on the joystick.
I have it right now. It's literally, see this arcade behind me, this red one? There's a button underneath. You might be able to hear it. I press the button. There's a motor, and it changes from a 4-way to an 8-way.
Yeah, there you go.
Glenn's Retro Show makes them. I have one installed in my original Dragon's Lair. So when I play a 4-way game, I literally have perfect controls, amazing sound, amazing picture, and I love that thing. It's cool. It was a fun mod too. A little challenging, but it was fun. I'm glad I did it. But
you
could do that to your Mr. Do so easily. You just have to get the you'd have to switch to a Sanwa joystick and a Glenn's Retro Show.
Well, that's what I have in there.
Then you don't even have to do that. Actually, all you have to do is buy the restrictor gate. It plugs into USB and it snaps on to the original Sanwa restrictor gate. If you have Sanwa, that's a cakewalk, dude. That's an easy mod for you to do. It's not that expensive either. Then when you play something like Pac-Man or Mr. Do, or Dig Dug, any game that had 4-way controls, you get perfect 4-way because it's actually physically restricting it,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn, yeah. Because that's what I got in there. Because that's what everybody recommended. So that's what I bought.
Yeah, well, yeah. You could get that. That's an easy mod. That would be a sweet mod. What do you have in that thing? A Pi?
What's that?
What are you running on your Mr. Do multicade? Is it a Pi?
It's a Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry Pi, yeah, it would work with that. See, the thing about it's not even connected to the Pi. You just press a button,
That's what I was figuring, yeah.
So, I mean, it's that would be a fun mod.
So all I have to do is get that Glenn's thing then.
Yep, drill a hole somewhere. I like hid mine. Mine's actually underneath my control panel. Like you would never know it's there. When I turn the lights off, it glows a little bit, which is kind of cool.
I would have to. I wouldn't mind putting it right there in front of Mr. Do there.
Yeah, that's a bit pixel LED display on my At Games Legends Ultimate. I have arcades from all the companies. I kind of get put in a box as the iArcade person, but I literally have arcades from all of them. I have arcade 1-ups. I have a bunch of At Games stuff. I have a bunch of arcade 1-up stuff. I don't really discriminate. I like them all. If it was fun, it was fun. That's all I care about. Is it fun?
Okay, I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. What would you get? iArcade or Legends?
They're as different as you could get, really, because it depends on what you want. Like if you want just a ton of games, like the Legends Ultimate is a good multicade because you can bring your own games. If you want kind of a premium experience, you want to play some new type games that aren't available, that are kind of unique. I mean, iArcade has some really good games. Like they have a game right now that's as good as Robotron. It's called
really?
Saturn. Yeah, it's fantastic. Basically, it's a modern Robotron, and it's dual stick. It's fantastic. And the best part, it was free. Stick. Yeah, it's a dual stick shooter, just like Robotron, but it's modernized. So every time you play the game, it's randomized. So the enemy loadout's different every time. I mean, I'm a massive Robotron fan, and it's just as good, if not better. iArcade is they're kind of like a niche inside of a niche. They're a very small part of the market.
Yep.
I mean, iArcade, they have to be good because if they're not good, they're not going to survive.
And they're always adding games to their store.
Yeah, they're always adding games, and they do a lot of cool modern retro games that are this could have been an 80's arcade, but it's on the iArcade. Certain things like the iArcade, you don't have to upgrade anything. Everything is good. The buttons are good. The control is good. The screen is bigger. It's a 19-inch screen. But I mean, I like them all. They're all different. At Games, they have, once you throw coin ops on it, you got 5,000 games.
Yep.
Can't beat 5,000 games.
Yeah, but the kind of cool thing, I was leaning towards iArcade.
The marquees,
I'm leaning towards iArcade just because they have that store and they're always adding new games. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like iArcade. iArcade's got a really great community too. It's like a small community, but everyone that's into it, they play the games. Like if you get an iArcade, you would see I'm on all the leaderboards. I play games. Yeah, I'm on all the leaderboards.
What's you over there on all those? Pop this up.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I'm already signed up. So there you go. There's some. Are these back in stock yet? Because last time I looked. They were.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with the arcade right now, but yeah, the pre-order only. Yeah, they're sold out.
Sold out. It's only the 2 they have right now. They're both sold out. Yeah, if I get one, man, it would definitely be Space Invaders.
Mm-hmm. They'll make some more, I'm sure. I mean, but you never know. I mean, right now I'm happy with it. Like if they went out of business tomorrow, I'd still be happy because I've got all the games I love on it.
Yeah.
The games don't go away. Once you download the game to the machine, it's permanently on there unless you delete it.
Right.
So, it's not like, like some of these consoles now, like if it doesn't connect to the online, none of your stuff works.
Yep.
It's not like that at all. Like the iArcade is like, once you put the game on it, unless you delete it, it's on there forever.
All right. So so you're downloading it to your.
So you own it. I mean, it's not like it's linked, but there's a lot of cool things like the multiplayer, the online is really fun, but you just have to know people. Like when I want to play games online, I just message my friends and we play,
Yeah.
So it's,
that's pretty cool.
because it's such a tiny community, it's even tinier than Arcade 1UP, so you
Is
have
it really?
to do that. Yeah, it's a tiny company. I mean, they're growing. I like what they're doing. I mean, hopefully they keep doing good stuff, and we'll see what the future brings.
Yep. Dan Z says, Papa Brad, what is the game you have with the changing title marquee?
Yeah, that's the Legends Ultimate from At Games. It's a good machine too. It's a real good machine.
Oh, is it this one here?
Yeah, I'm the one in the corner. I'm running Coin Ops. That's Crazy Climber. Yeah, I'm running Coin Ops in it.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
You see Daytona. Look at Daytona going. It's amazing. Like we live in a golden age. Like home arcades. Like I can't believe the games that we have right now that you can play at home is just amazing. I mean, I have an Atari 2600 sitting by me. I got a real Dreamcast running on that monitor. I mean, everything is just like so available. I mean, we're in a golden age now of home arcades. People complain a lot, but we should be really happy because like it's better than it's ever been. So yeah, Dan Z, you have a multi-K to 60-in-1. That's cool. Are you running it in a real arcade cabinet? I have one of those too. It's in my other room. You can see a tour of my arcades, but my arcades change a lot. Like sometimes I'll kind of bring stuff in and out, but certain games I'll never get rid of. Like my original multi-K I built, I'll never get rid of because it's all real arcade hardware. It's like using a Galaga cabinet, so I'll never get rid of that one. That's never going to be an option.
What game's running on your Dragon's Lair?
That's just a screensaver actually.
Oh, it's just a screensaver.
Yeah, it's just a screensaver. Yeah, it's just a screensaver.
Damn,
Here's the thing about iArcade, like what they don't have in quantity, like they have a lot, but they also really, when they do something, they've done it right. Like the Dragon's Lair on iArcade is really great. Space Ace is great. I know you have an Arcade 1UP, which is also good, but for example, Double Dragon, they took the time to get the emulation and the slowdown perfect. So like when you go in an arcade and you play a Double Dragon using real hardware, it feels just like the iArcade. And they did that with Space Invaders. They got the license for Space Invaders. Then they took like a year and a half to make their own custom version of it. It's like the best home version of Space Invaders. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Space Invaders, but
Yeah,
we've got the best version that's ever been available. And it's because I think they care, I mean, like they have everything on the line, the owner of that company, he put everything on the line to make iArcade. So, I mean, that's the one thing they have is they really care about what they do. And they listen, like people that watch the iArcadians and, we listen to the fans. Like everything that we're saying on the iArcadians, that's what people tell us. And they listen, they do stuff. They listen to the community. And I mean, that's kind of the secret sauce of what makes iArcade great. I mean, it's quality and they listen to the community. Got Brooklyn Menace in the chat. It's my co-host in the iArcadians. He also has his own show called the Friday Night Arcade Show. Comes on Fridays. On Friday nights, we get together. We play arcade games. We hang out. It's kind of a hangout and chill community.
Watch some of those.
We're just having fun, but I think some people, they get angry at us because we're having so much fun. They just want to target us. But that's just who we are, We're Arcadians. We love this stuff, But, I love all arcades. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not just iArcade, but I mean, iArcade certainly has, like, if you love arcade games, it's a good niche. If you love to play, if you're buying a machine to play games, it's a machine to play games. It's like everything about iArcade is like for playing. You've got top of line controls. You can get real arcade glass for it.
Oh, can you really?
Tempered monitor glass, just like a real arcade. Matter of fact, they have a problem with it breaking because they're using real glass. Nothing cheap. And but I mean, that's what iArcade's kind of about. It's a small community,
Retromania wrestling.
And here's the thing, I'll tell you too, if you could pick up a used one, they don't wear out. So like if you could pick up a used one, scoop it up, because I mean, they don't wear out. Like I like my original one as much as the gold cab,
Oh, you have both?
I have both. Yeah, this is a gold cab. This one, and this one's an original.
Whoops.
And one of them I don't have here, but I have 3 of them. So yeah, this is the gold. This is the original arcade over here. But yeah, I think we live in a golden age for home arcade. I mean,
oh yeah,
I don't see it can get much better. People complain, but we got more cool stuff than we've ever had. It's more affordable, it's more available. I remember how hard it was. Like when I got my arcade, I had to make a custom build of MAME. I had to get a front end. See you later, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
See you, man. Thanks for coming, stopping by, Dan Z, hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Awesome having you guys in here.
And we got everything on easy mode now,
Oh,
so you can get one USB stick and play 5,000 games,
Yeah, I'm slowly on my Raspberry Pi, my Mr. Do. I'm slowly. I don't know if you could see or not, but I got Rally X on there.
Yeah, Rally X is cool.
Yep, it's the new Rally X. Doesn't look much different than the old one.
Rally X was released the same time as Pac-Man, and when Namco went to the big convention or wherever where they talk about games, which games are going to be popular, they were 100% convinced that Rally X was going to be the banger and the big hit, and Pac-Man was just something that they were kind of have as like a side thing. And boy, were they wrong, huh? Were they wrong with that? Pac-Man became massive, and Rally X became kind of like the game that people don't really know as well. So
I played it a couple times in arcades, Rally X.
Yeah, I did too. But I mean, Namco 100% thought that was going to be the big game.
I love the music on it too. On that,
you got the little smoke screen.
Yeah,
you're trying to get the gas to keep you moving.
Yep. Yeah, it's a neat game. But yeah, I still want. Well, I'm done with Arcade 1-Up. And it's not because I don't like Arcade Up. I appreciate Arcade 1-Up, what they've done. Love what they've done. Love all the cabinets I have back here, even though every one of them has an issue.
Yeah.
Each one has an issue.
Like, kudos, because those are 3 of the best, If you're going to get them, those are the ones to get. The ones that are unique. They spent more time making them cool. Like Tron, Dragon's Lair, and Star Wars. Like when Michael B announced he was getting rid of his cabs, I was like, he's not getting rid of those. I said, he'll definitely keep Star Wars, Tron, and Dragon's Lair. Sure enough, that's what he said. So,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, I mean, they have potential to make good stuff.
I still think I think you got to have a Pac-Man in your, at least the one like I have.
Yeah, I love Pac-Man. I have the Namco cab, and then I put a Samwa real 4-way joystick in there.
Oh, did you?
I love it. I love Pac-Man. Pac-Man's great. You got to have a Pac-Man.
That's why I always say that was my first one.
It almost got me. I was kind of thinking about getting that Miss Pac-Man, the new one with the no riser, but then they discontinued it before it even they showed it, but then they were like, no, we're not going to do that.
I think it's still on there, isn't it? Or did they?
No, they took it down. They removed it.
It was up there a couple weeks ago.
I can't go class of 1981 with an arcade 1-up. I have a personal issue with that because like the arcade 1-up class of 1981 doesn't even have the class of 1981 ROM in it. Doesn't even have the arcade.
That's stupid. So how can they call it that then? You freeze? Puppet Brad froze. Okay, where is it? All coming soon? Oh yeah, there it is. There. So here's arcade 1-up. Yeah. So they did take Miss Pac-Man down. I mean, I can't believe Puppet Brad, man, you froze. Yeah, these are cool and everything. The funny thing is, you thought they were going to be taller, but they're not. They're still 61 inches high, which I think 61 inches high is just below my Mr. Do. It was Mr. Do without the riser, I do believe. I mean, I like these new cabinets they're coming out with, just because they had the slanted screen. Pop Brad, you got to get back in here, man. I don't know what happened. Hey, what's up, Common Sense? I forgot to see you, man. TM, have you ever thought of getting into real estate and be a landlord? Be a landlord? What are you talking about, Common Sense? Oh, wow. They actually have caps. They actually have caps on these for the screw holes. Interesting. So this will be the first time they'll have caps on their screw holes. Pac-Man have caps too? Hey, he's back.
Hey, I'm back. John D heard me. He said, hey, get him off of there. Get him off of there. Arcade 1-up heard me. They kicked me off.
No.
Yeah.
That's what happened to you.
So, yeah.
Look at this.
These cabs, they can, they should have went bigger though. It's still too small. I mean, like, it should have been like 4 inches to 6 inches bigger. I think. But it's getting closer.
But the thing is, I mean, okay, they don't have a riser, but if you don't want to make the boxes bigger and all that, just do a 2-piece side panels. I would still be fine with 2-piece side panels without the riser, and that way you get it up higher.
Yeah, I would too. Like, I don't want to have to put a riser. Like, I would not want to buy this and then have to put a riser on it. That defeats the entire point. Like, once you play an iArcade with no riser and you see that it doesn't move at all when you're playing, like, it literally is rock solid and does not move. Once you do that, like, you can't really go back to wanting risers again. I mean, it's just better.
Oh, I know. And all they had to do is make a 2-piece side art. That's all you had to do. Or side panel. Just make a 2-piece, because this definitely is a 1-piece side panel. Okay.
I think it's still 2-piece. They join it together. But they could have went big. Yeah.
I can't see
there's a seam there. You probably the way they have it photoshopped or whatever, but it's not. They try to hide the seam the best they can. There's a seam there. It's just like can't think. It's probably like.
So it's probably right here then. This is the
right there. See where those right above those two the screw hole covers.
Hey, can you believe they actually put covers on here finally?
I know. Yeah. Well, that should have been done from the get-go.
Yeah, they
that is cool. That is cool. See, the Miss Pac-Man's gone. All they have is class of 1981. I can't do that because, like, every time I play it, I would know that it's not a class of 1981.
It's like, how can you not use the right 1981 stuff?
It's because you can play Pac-Man. There's a secret you can do, and you can play Pac-Man. If they would have offered the real ROM, you would have Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, and Galaga.
Oh.
And honestly, like, that's what I want though. I want that combo. Yeah, like that might be a real arcade I would buy. A real class of 1981, because you do get 3 of the best games. You get Miss Pac-Man with all the modes. You can actually go in a real class of 1981. There's certain combinations you can do where you can enable fast mode. You can do fast shoot Galaga. Like, all the versions of those games that are cool work.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they.
I like the slanted monitor. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
As long as it doesn't bleed out or look weird.
Yeah, it depends on what monitor they have. I love that. I mean, that's one thing I've been saying about the whole time with them is they got to have the slanted screen. When they did it with Tron, I was like, all their games got to be like this.
It's like you're looking into it when they do that.
And your marquee's not in your way either.
I mean, my real Galaga is like that. My real my multicade.
Oh, so they have Galaga and Galaga 88 on here on this Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And then Dig Dug and Dig Dug 2. So I like that they added Galaga 88. Does Pac-Man have anything different? Or is it the same games? Get out of there. Pac-Man is Pac-Man, Dig Dug 2. Oh, they got Dig Dug 2 on there.
Rolling Thunder, huh? The Namco has most of those.
Yeah. Yeah, they added the Galaga 88.
Galaga 88 and Rolling Thunder, huh?
Yep.
I think all the other games are the same.
Yep. Well, the one I have doesn't have Dig Dug 2. No, yeah, it does. It does have Dig Dug 2 on the one I have. So, yeah, you're right. It's 88 and Rolling Thunders they added. I don't know what they took away. They took away something. Or no, because mine just has 12. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just added 2. They just added 2.
Just those 2. I mean, I like them. I mean, they look great. I'm not going to buy any of them, but they look awesome. I mean, I give them kudos for that, but they need to be a little taller. I mean,
yeah, they're still not tall enough.
If they just, that
they could have easily went 4 to 6 inches taller, and they would have been better.
Yeah,
I'm already seeing it. Like people are saying, "Oh, well, you might still need a riser." It's like, why would I? I mean, I don't want to get a riser for.
Nah, that's the whole purpose of having.
Defeats the purpose of having the single piece.
Well, here you go. This is all they have to do, right? Because it's all about box size too. I understand.
Yeah.
They don't want to change your box size. Make the bottom side panel the same size as the top panel. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Doubles the size almost, right?
Problem solved.
And that's all they got to do. Make the bottom side piece same size as the top side piece. That's all you got to do. What's wrong with that? Ain't going to cost you any much more. The wood they cost ain't going to cost you any more money. What? Maybe probably not even 5 cents, by 3 cents. Just double, and you almost double the size of the cabinet by doing that. Don't have to change the box size. Done. Fix. Let's see. Dan Z, have a good one. Dan Z, I'm back. Had to let my Rottweiler out. Love the arcade talk. I wish they did without the risers to begin with.
Yeah,
I understand why they did it at the beginning, but now they had the technology.
Yeah, I'm definitely like having both and playing both. I'm 100% anti-riser because I have both and I've played them a lot, and I just think I understand people don't want chain. Like if I had like 30 arcade 1-ups, maybe I'd be like, I don't want it to look different, But like, I mean, from a player standpoint, not having a riser is better. The machine doesn't shift around and move as easily.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, so it's really I'm looking at it from a game player standpoint. That's why I don't want risers. Really, the look doesn't bother me as much as as the fact that when you're playing it, sometimes they move around.
Yeah,
I play aggressively. Like if you see me playing Street Fighter, I'm beating the heck out of the buttons. The machine's like rocking around while I'm trying to do my special moves. It's just like I don't know. It's like it would feel less. It would feel more premium if it was like not having a riser to me.
Well, one thing you can do, make it heavier. Put some bricks in there.
Yeah, you could.
That would make it not move around.
That would. Mm-hmm.
See, there's a solution. But I'm with you.
There's
I don't
solution. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. But the problem is you still have the top and bottom are 2 separate pieces.
Yeah.
And they give you those screws are like screw it together. I'm not going to screw the bottom to the top. I don't think anyone does that. Does anyone do that with their arcade 1-ups? I've never seen anyone do that. Like they're like just run these screws through it. It's like I'll never do that to. I mean, to me, it's like that would be terrible. I wouldn't do that.
I run the screws through the riser and the thing, and I attach it to my wall.
Yeah, you use the safety support for the wall because you'd hate to have it fall on top of you.
Nah, I don't. But it's like I'm not going to do either
What's
one.
What's the first arcade one-up you got? Since we're talking about arcade one, Pac-Man was the first one. Okay.
Yeah, I got it for
my
$200.
My first arcade one-up was Atari Star Wars. So like I kind of started like with the
that was yours.
Okay. My very first one I bought was the Atari Star Wars.
2019.
When it came out. Yeah.
Dude,
actually, I had to wait a while because it was hard to get. Like when I finally could get one, I got it. But it was the first one I bought.
Yeah, I remember watching because they introduced it in that thing in January. What's it called?
Hobby Hands Pac-Man was your first arcade one-up. Then Galaga.
See, Goofyfoot says the GRS gate switch kit comes with a dual button you can use for player 1 and player 2, so you can use a gate switch button.
Dude, if I can make it work, anyone can make it work. So it's not that hard of a mod. Don't be afraid of it. And if you have a CMY joystick, you just snap it on. I mean, it couldn't be easier for what you got.
Common Sense says, is there any money in arcade businesses? I think there is in making them. Making the cabs. Because you know what? Competition, man, always brings out the best in companies.
It does.
That's why they want to get rid of competition. But
Hobby Hand said I wanted a Galaga and a Pac-Man, and I had it, and now I have it. So
Dan Z says, is arcade one of even a big company? I feel they're could close doors overnight. Wish someone would buy them out.
Dan Z has a Golden Tee, Star Wars, Dragon's Lair. Jeff's blowing up my phone, my text. Cut it out.
Nice.
I wanted a Galaga and Pac-Man. Wait a minute. Stop it. I can't see it. I gotta move this. He has NBA Jam, Dragon's Lair, Star Wars, Golden Tee. Okay, there you go.
There you go. My arcades are Golden Tee.
I was getting text messages. There's a bunch of fake Papa Brads going around. Have you heard about this? There's a whole bunch of fake Papa Brads, and they're like saying all kind of. They're going on all these. Someone while we're on this stream was on a different arcade stream, talking stuff, using Papa Brad, and I'm literally here right now.
Yeah, you sure you're not on another stream too?
Look, man, I can't multitask. Please give me a break.
That's crazy, man.
I don't get it. It is crazy. People want to hate. People want to hate. And that's But I knew when I got into YouTube, you got to have thick skin. This is the game,
dude. When I first started my
I'm
first
here
channel,
for the love of the game and the gamers. That's what I'm here for. I love arcades. I love this stuff. I like 99% of this community.
My first channel, TMCLOSKY. I do Arc Survival Evolve videos, how to do stuff. You used to see how much hate I used to get on that channel. It's like, oh my gosh, you pronounced that wrong, you freaking moron. It's just like some of the names of these dinosaurs are ridiculous. It's just like, I used to call the wyvern the wavering. Oh, it's a wyvern, not a wavering. I was like, who gives a fuck about name? Pronouncing. It used to piss me off.
Brooklyn, get them. There's a lot of fake Papa Brads. I got 3 more fake Papa Brad alerts today. So
I mean, some people are just ridiculous. I just don't get why.
I'm going to tell you right now. You've known me for a while. You've known me. You've seen me commenting on your videos. If Papa Brad's leaving a comment on a YouTuber's video, it's to tell them I like their video. I don't go in there and cause drama. That's not my game. I don't do that. But I am going to support the community. If there's a YouTuber I like you, and you make a good video, I don't feel like I want to just go in there and say great video. But now they got to try to make me have enemies with people. They're going in other people's YouTubes and they're leaving negative comments or crazy iArcade comments like iArcade's getting Street Fighter. It's like I would never. Papa Brad didn't type that one. iArcade's getting Mortal Kombat. I mean, Papa Brad didn't type that one. I mean, I do know what I'm talking about for the most part. But
yes, you do.
Sorry to get on a rant, but I found out while we were my phone was blowing up because someone was texting me that there was someone being a fake Papa Brad.
Oh, I thought you were just I thought you were leaving comments.
No. But
this kid.
Yeah, I don't need to because I'm on the stream. I can just talk if I want to. But anyway, I think we had fun. It was a good show.
Yeah, you ready to be off?
No, I mean we can stay for a little more.
Yeah, just let me know when you got to go or whatever. But yeah, I've been having a blast.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. We can do it again. You know,
anytime you want to come on, man.
Awesome.
I love talking to you.
We should set up some polls to see what kind of stuff people would be interested in us covering on the Arcade Talk show. You know, maybe run some community polls, and then we could have some topics, and it could just be like a hangout. We could talk about some of these things. You know. I think it was fun though. Looking back at the 80s, 80s had some cool toys. You know, there were toys that we had that they'll never see again, like that Transformer, that Megatron. You're never going to see a Megatron. You know,
I can't believe you still can get cap guns, man. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, you must have to order that stuff on, not in a store though. That must be like an online thing or something. But that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think they're specialty people that do that stuff now.
Yeah. I would love an arcade. 720. Okay, now here's the thing. 720, the skateboarding game, that had unique controls. Yeah, the controls, you would like spin them around. Like those are the kind of games I want because like you can't really play that any other way. You know, skate or die. You know, I would buy a 720. That was an awesome cab. It looked like a boom box. It had like a boom box. Now that was a unique design. You know. Like a remake of that where it worked well, I would buy that.
So if we could pull it up here.
But you know, I'm a classic arcade guy. That's the stuff I love, you know. That's why I go to arcades and go to arcade tours and stuff, you know. Dan Z's giving us some topics. 80s talk, old mall stores, and vintage stores. He loves all that.
See,
Goofyfoot was hanging with us. Yeah, I mean, Zookeeper. That's cool. Oh, this is John's Arcade. Yeah, he's got all the cool games.
Yeah, he has a 720.
I love his channel. I wish he still made videos.
He has a 720. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There's a Robotron.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
720.
Let's get the boombox. He's working on it. Looks like. Yeah, Narc was a good game. Pretty much all the Midways are good. All the Williams classic arcades and all the Midway arcades, I like. All of them. I mean, pretty much didn't really have a bad game. Once again, it had to be good because it's like, you know, it was all about gameplay. You know, your game had to just sell itself. There was no advertising really. It was sitting in an arcade. And had to sell itself. It had to tell a story. Had to be unique. Look at that boombox on top of it. How cool is that, huh?
I never saw one of those.
How cool is that? That is cool. And
awesome.
The controls are completely unique. The joystick, it rotates in a circle. It's not really like a regular joystick. It's like something you turn. But the fact that you turn it when you're doing your 360s and 180s, it's just fun, man. It's just fun. Like that's back when each game, they had a lot of unique controls.
I never saw one of these.
Yeah, if you ever see it, check it out. 720 is a great game.
That's pretty neat.
It's one of those unique control games. Like Tron has unique controls with the flight stick and the spinner.
Yeah,
those were completely original controls. Like even if you have a multicade, it's hard to play Tron without having a flight stick and a spinner like that.
I love that game. I remember when that one came out, and I remember when Discotron came out. The one arcade I was in called Tilt. I think I was saying the other day about it. They actually had a sit-down version of the Discotron, and then the two doorways on both sides.
Environmental. Oh my goodness, that's cool.
And they put curtains over the doorways,
so it's dark.
And you go in there, you set the thing, man. You felt like you're actually in the game.
I know it's totally immersive, you know.
Yeah, got the black lights going and
the black lights, and then they used the artwork in a mirror to create a trick where it looked like they looked more 3D because they used a mirror like they do with Space Invaders, where the artwork kind of fuses into the game. Yeah, it's incredible.
And Battlezone was like that too.
Battlezone had that done. A lot of games, Space Invaders. It was a way to cheat and make the game like cooler looking than it should be. You know, I mean, like when you play a Space Invaders with the moon backdrop, it still has a certain charm to it. You know.
Yeah.
When you play a real machine.
I remember the first Space Invaders I played. Man, it had foil for the color.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah. They used the gels. They used the gels over to make it in color. That was a Space Invaders color was still black and white.
Yeah,
it just had some gels which would make it look color. Yeah,
yeah, I remember those. I remember playing that because when I first played it,
the first arcade game I played. I played as Space Invaders. It was in a Kmart service area. They just had a Space Invaders because back in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, arcades would just be sitting all kinds of crazy places, and they had a Space Invaders, and my mom was there. She gave me a quarter. That was the first video game I ever played.
I think the first one I ever played was Space Invaders or Asteroids.
Yeah, it was Space Invaders for me. I remember exactly and I didn't play for long, you know, because I didn't know what I was doing, but I was amazed by it. It was it's like magical, you know. It's like, what is this? You know, what is this thing? You know, and then like the real Space Invaders, it has, you know, they have the do with that low thump. They had it's like the speakers in a Space Invaders, they're pretty loud actually, and like that thumping was like dum doom doom doom. You know, it just was cool. So
yeah, I love that freaking noise. Yeah, the first time I ever got in trouble, I was playing Berserk at a Big Wheels. I don't know if anybody knows Big Wheels store, and I thought I made up a new word. You know, somebody, freaking dudes, killed me. I was like, "You bastards!" I got a whack in the back of my head from my dad.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what happened? What happened? What did I say? It's like, I thought he made that word up. He's like, no, that's a swear word. I was like, damn, is it? I thought he made it up. Then it's like, where did I hear that word from? Somebody gave me that in the head. Probably one of my friends at school, but I really thought I made the fucking word up. You bastards.
Making history.
My dad didn't like that one, man.
Yeah, I had that motorcycle game too, where you could jump over the cars. It was like Evel Knievel, and there was you had a throttle, and it was just like a motorcycle grip. It was real cool. I had one of those actually. I think I
remember that. Didn't you have
called Stunt Cycle? Stunt Cycle, Atari Stunt Cycle, and they made a home version of it. I did have that. Why I never got an Atari is still a mystery to me, but I did have I had the Stunt Cycle. We never got a Palm, but people I knew had Palm.
Oh, look at this. I don't know what's wrong with my computer today, but there it is.
There it is.
The arcade. See, they like that. They could put that on, Paperboy.
Yeah.
Stunt Cycle Paperboy.
Yeah, you could do Stunt Cycle and Paperboy would go together good.
Yeah, I mean it's almost the same steering wheel, right? Or whatever yoke.
I know it's the licensing and stuff, but you got Hang On. There were a lot of good games that used a motorcycle setup that aren't that they can.
Well, I mean they have because they already have Paperboy on some of their cabs. Arcade One Up does. I mean, but it doesn't play good because it doesn't have the
play
freaking.
Good, yeah. What's the point?
Don't have this.
It doesn't bring back the nostalgia. You know, it's like playing Defender with the wrong controls. It's just not the same thing. No. Defender was so hard. Like the controls that were made for it were made where you could, if you practiced and you played it, you could get good at it. But without those real super precise controls, you're not really playing Defender.
Yeah, I was actually decent with Defender.
Yeah, Defender's awesome. I love Defender. That's one of my favorite classic arcades.
It's hard though, man. At first, you're trying to,
it gets easier the more you play it, though. It gets easier once you get used to the controls.
Yeah. I mean, you had to shoot ships. You got to, try to get the people that falling through the air.
It's a tense game.
But it's a fun game, though. Yeah, but Paperboy didn't have a throttle. You just push forward. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand they'll have a throttle, but you could have the same cabinet though for both of them. Just don't have to use the throttle for Paperboy. I like Paperboy. I thought it was a fun game to play, especially with that steering wheel. You know, and I think this here, I mean, who makes Paperboy? Is that Midway or was that Atari?
Atari.
So see, there's 2 games you can put on there. This is Atari, right?
That's Atari. Yeah, Stun Cycle was.
So I mean, there's 2 games you could put on there: Paperboy and this one. There's probably another game you could probably put on there as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, hell, they're putting Paperboy on one with just a regular joystick. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, it's almost unplayable. I put it on my Mr. Do.
Unplayable. Yeah, it's
because I put it on my Mr. Do machine there, and you really can't play it. I mean, you can, but you can't.
It just doesn't bring back any nostalgia when you're playing it with a joystick. I mean, it's not really the right thing.
Yeah, and it makes it harder too.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it harder than it really is. Hobby Hands, you're making too much sense. Yeah, everybody makes too much sense, but Arcade went up. So where do you think, people in the chat and Papa Brian, where do you think Arcade One's going to go up from here? I mean, I know Fast and Furious and all that, and these games that we already see, 81 and Pac-Man. Where do you really think they're going to go from there? I really don't know.
I don't know either. That's a scary part. I mean, like, I know what I would do if I was them, but that would just be my call, you know. I mean, I think they're missing a gold mine with 80s games because they're easy to emulate, they're easy to make, easy to get right, you know. I mean, and people like them, you know. People still like stuff from the 80s. So I think they're making a huge mistake sleeping on 80s titles, but
I do too. And
it seems like they just seem to be clueless. Like when they did the TikTok thing, like who even watches TikTok? I mean, that was a massive failure.
Well, I didn't know they did TikTok. See,
they went on TikTok. They did a show on TikTok, and
I'm not on there.
Then they were supposed to have done a contest, and the contest was fixed. I mean, like they had a wheel, and there was question marks over every name. So like you couldn't even see if you were going to win or not. And then someone that knew the host won.
Oh, of course.
You tell me how that looks.
Looks pretty bad. I didn't even know they did TikTok.
Looks pretty bad.
I just don't understand where they're going with that. I just wish why can't there be another company out there who wants to get into it? Because a lot of this stuff is not that expensive to make.
Yeah. I
know you have to get the license. That's the big thing, but
you know who could make a good arcade?
New Wave.
Evercade. We got New Wave makes good arcades. They make those little mini arcades. Those are super cool.
They can go
Replicades. I don't know. You think they could go up to that scale? I mean, the thing about New Wave toys is like everything they're doing is quality. You know, that's why I think people love it too. You know, it's like it's not just about getting something that's nostalgic. Well, it's probably a freak thing. You know, they're going to take care of me. But, it's all about nostalgia. And they got that. I mean, they know that we want quality. Even if it's, are they 1/6? What's the scale? They're small, but they're smaller, but they're really good. They really feel like the real thing.
Yeah, they're 12 inches tall. We were a foot.
Yeah.
They're a foot tall.
Yeah.
But the cool thing with them is they actually get the creators of the game involved. That's what's so cool.
They do a great job. They do great, and it comes down to really like that's why I like iArcade. They just care. I mean, they do care, and a small company or a newer company. That's one of the things you get. So hopefully they survive. We'll see.
I want to know tic tac the breath mint. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, when Arcade 1-Up first came out, they seemed like they cared, they were legit and all that, and it seems like quickly they lost that. And I don't understand why.
They seem to be like I don't know, they're just not in touch with the fan base. They're like, well, we sell all of our cabinets to people that aren't on YouTube that don't have a bunch of our cabs. But how can they say that? Like people have 20. I mean, there are people that have like 20 Arcade 1-Ups.
Some people have every
Michael
one.
B had 30. Michael B, I think, had them all almost. I mean, how can they not say that that's not a huge part of their model? I mean,
well, look at P-Dubs, man. He did that interview with that one kid.
Oh man, he had awesome. That made those custom arcades out of the arcade 1-ups. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was a good video.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
P-Dubs. P-Dubs is one of my favorite channels. He's always had a good channel.
That person he did. I mean, they had a shitload of arcade 1-ups, a bunch of arcade 1-ups. I wanted to say they almost had every single cabinet they ever came out with.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, there's a lot of people that have like 30, 32 cabs of theirs. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, like I said, you know, there are machines they make that I like. I just hope they can reach your potential again. That's the one I had right there. That's the exact one. I had that exact thing. See that? That's what I had.
This
Atari Stunt Cycle. Yep, I had that.
Oh, this right here, yeah.
And when I went to the Southern Fried Gaming Expo, they had one. I played it again. It was so fun.
I never saw that before. What was that one for?
It was just like a thing that hooked up to your TV set, you know. One side of it rotates. You have a throttle, and it's like, you know, Evel Knievel. I mean, in the 70s, man, Evel Knievel was huge. Everyone loved it. Evel Knievel was like the man. He was a bad boy too. He was crazy.
He was on national TV, man, doing the
Wild World of Sports, man, jumping over sharks. Remember that? All kind of crazy stuff.
And he was in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, God, can you imagine the guts? He thought for sure that was going to kill him. Like when he got into that, he said he knew, like, literally there's like a 99% chance that this is going to kill me, and he still did it. That dude had his nerves were. I mean,
he had some cojones.
He had some cojones, man. That dude had nerves of steel, man. I mean, respect.
I think he was on drugs. Shoot me up, man.
I think everyone was probably on drugs in the 70s, though, you know. But mad respect to Evel Knievel.
He had a bunch of freaking toys.
He was cool.
I don't think
that
I
was
ran
toys of the 70s, man. I used to have one of those stunt cycles, the Evel Knievel stunt. You had this thing, and you would spin it, and it had like a gyroscope in there, and you'd hit a button, that little motorcycle would take off like mad. And,
dude, you remember those freaking? You had the little zip thing. You put it in there and like zip.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about those things. Yeah, his motorcycle thing was pretty cool. He had some cool stuff. I mean, he had the action figure, not even action figure. Really, it was like a doll, right?
Yeah, like a little tiny Evel Knievel on a motorcycle. It's pretty cool.
I think you take off the helmet and all that. He had some Evel Knievel, man. I mean, he was like America.
He was.
Americana.
He was. Yep. Sponsored by Harley Davidson.
Was he sponsored by? I didn't realize he was.
Yeah, he got a Harley Davidson sponsorship, man. Jumping Harleys. I mean, as hard as it was, he was doing on those Harley Davidsons. I mean,
Harleys were
unbelievable.
Harleys were made around World War II time.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they were made. Yeah, they were made for the Army.
Really?
World War II.
That's awesome.
That's where the Harleys came from. It's funny too, because I was in Desert Storm, and we actually had motorcycles out in the deserts.
That's cool. Thank you for your service.
Thanks. But yeah, we had scouts and snipers who were using Harleys over there. I met a couple guys when I was the ammunition specialist. That's why I was in there. So I handled all the ammunition for the Army. Cool job, man. When you're 18, let you know. But I met a couple of those guys. They were snipers, and they were using Harleys to go through the desert because it was the quickest way to get through the deserts.
Okay.
With motorcycles, because the sand over there, it was so like deep. Like when you stepped in the sand, you stepped down several inches. I mean, the first time when I first went over there in combat boots, next day your legs were sore because your feet, every time you stepped, your feet sunk into the sand.
Almost like snow, huh?
Yeah, exactly like
wow,
sand.
That's crazy. I
mean, it was in your next day. You're like, oh my god, my legs are so damn sore from just walking because it was just exactly like snow. It was just crazy.
Evel Knievel was as badass as Clint Eastwood, and Clint is still alive. Yeah, well, Clint wasn't jumping Harley Davidson motorcycles. Clint Eastwood didn't have every bone in his body broken.
No. There you go. Some cool.
That's cool.
Motorcycles because of him.
That is cool.
Those are some of the ones after because of him. Hey, didn't his son get into it too?
Yeah, yeah. They have a Evil Knievel pinball machine too. It's fun. It's a real retro one. It's like probably came out. I don't know what year it came out. I think in the 70s, but it's very Evil Knievel. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I think I remember that. There it is. And we got a bunch of. See if I can pull up a video. Pawn Stars had Evil Knievel pinball machine.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, I've had it in some of my arcade tours where I've shown a lot of it. Yeah, the one I showed is a lot better shape than that. That's the thing about pinball too, is the people that get into it, they're almost like hot rod collectors. The ones that get into like the retro pinballs.
Yeah,
and you'll see a pinball machine. It looks better now than it might have looked back in the day because the people are so into restoring them. You know, it's like when you go to an arcade show, like a big expo. That's when you get to play the best, like the best condition machines. The people that bring them, they love the stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's funny that you're right. Exactly.
That one's all beat up, man. That one's beat to hell, but
yeah,
it's still fun. It's a fun, like for a retro table, it's pretty fun. I like it. 1975.
But yeah, you're right. A lot of her people.
Well, this was fun. We have to do it again, man.
It's like your dad's. What was it? Your dad's 1962 and a half Mustang you have on one of your videos?
Yeah. That was just for fun. That was just kind of a walk and talk video, but
yeah, but I love that car, man.
That video's got a lot of views. That video got a lot of views.
I've had 3 Mustangs.
I just basically said what I felt like, you know. I'm done with Arcade 1-Up, you know. I'll probably never really be done, but I mean, they got to really make something good for me to get back into it, you know. They could do it. They've done it before, so.
Yeah, he was a household name. He was a household name. Evil's Stunt Cycle was #1 toy of the 70s. I never had one, though. Evil Knievel was a badass, as Clinton was. Yep. Clinton is still alive. I think 1975. Yeah, and some things I just never got. I mean, my friends had Evil Knievel. It's just like that Steve Austin you showed with the bionic eye. My one
$6 million man action figure. Yeah.
Watched all the shows. Yeah, I never had action figures.
I had one of those. I did not have the Andre the Giant Bigfoot, though. That is so cool. The Bigfoot is crazy. I never had the Bigfoot. I did have the $6 million man action figure. I had this one that looked like a robot, and like its face would come off, and it looked like an android. I need to find a video on it. I haven't been able to find it, but I'm always looking for retro stuff to put on my channel. Yeah. The Bionic Man was definitely a product of its time, but it was fun.
Yeah. Was it you who was showing that that beach show, the girls in the beach bikinis and all that?
Oh yeah, I did that on the Retro 90s Arcadians.
I never watched that show.
Lee Anderson. Yeah, now you got a reason to watch. Now you got a reason to watch. Now you see why it was so popular.
I can't watch it.
Yeah,
I can't watch it. So I couldn't stand Hasselhoff. He was such a bad actor, man. I hated that dude.
He is pretty bad.
I mean, I watched Knight Rider, but man, I just couldn't watch Baywatch. That's what it was, Baywatch. I hated him. at that point.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're such a bad actor. I can't watch you anymore. Even though the girls are good looking and all that, but it's like every time he got on there, man, I cringed. It's like I can't watch it.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't hold up. I don't know.
David Hasselhoff, whatever.
But Pamela Lee Anderson running on a beach, that holds up well.
She had that nice video with Tommy Lee.
She was something back in those days.
Yeah. She still doesn't look too bad now either. Tommy Lee, man, from Motley Crue. The Crew.
Yeah. Originally, I wanted to use the Motley Crue music, but it got a copyright claim. Yeah. And I didn't do all that work and then have it all get claimed. So my first cut was all Motley Crue. And then I ran it, and YouTube was like, if you do that, we're gonna slap you down. So
The Crew, dude, I saw him twice in concert, man. Best concert I've ever saw.
DNZ says, "Great show, guys. Keep up the '80s format and game talk." That's what DNZ.
See, Goofyfoot never watched Baywatch. Exactly, me either, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, have you been to a Crew concert?
I have not seen it, but I do like the music. I do like the Crew.
I watched their Carnival. Was it Carnival Sin or whatever it was? I can't remember now. Greatest concert I ever saw in my life. Even if you didn't like Motley Crue, you loved that show.
Yeah,
and they just put it. It didn't matter.
Put on a good show.
It didn't matter if it was 8,000 people or 50,000 people. It was the same exact show. I mean, it was incredible. I actually still have the DVD. I bought the DVD while I was there, and every show, didn't matter where they were at, it was exactly the same. It was just a good experience.
Dude.
I love the Crew.
A band. The band I've seen the most out of any band is the Ramones.
Never saw them.
Yeah, the Ramones. I've seen. I like every time I got the opportunity to see them, I saw them when they were still around. But I love the Ramones. But rock and roll. I mean, there's so many great bands.
Another show. Another show we could do.
Yeah.
We could just do it on the 80s or 70s.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean,
what we should do is we should just decide to play some talk about some specific games too. Maybe we do a show we talk about Donkey Kong or Popeye or we both have multicades, right? So we could pick any of these cool games, or even better yet, let the community pick a game.
Yeah.
You just play it, talk it. We could do a little history. I'll make a history video on it. Love doing those.
Yeah, I like doing those history
stuff. Doesn't have to be locked into any particular company either. I want to get away from being locked to any specific one company. I like it all. I'm here for the games.
That's same here. Yeah, because there's so many.
I don't care if it's Arcade 1-Up or iArcade or at Games or whatever. I mean, if it's fun, or New Wave Toys. If it's fun, it's fun. If it's good, it's good. Is what it is.
There's so many great games, so many great companies out there. I mean, I know people, crash on Arcade 1-Up and all these other companies, but it's you know what? Wasn't for them, we had nothing.
Right, and we are in the golden age. This is the golden age of home arcade. We have so much cool stuff that's so easy to get, so readily available. I mean, this is the golden age. Home arcade might be. I don't know if it's at its peak and it's going to go back down, but I mean, it's really good. I mean, I've followed this stuff my whole life. We have it the best we've ever had it for having cool games at home. If you like retro games, if you like arcade games, you got a ton of choice, and choice is good. You don't want less choice. You want more choice.
Yeah, I say
competition makes everyone get better. If there's no competition, there's no reason to improve. So this is my take on it, like you said earlier,
Yeah, and the thing is, our government right now wants to freaking take competition out of stuff, and it's just you got to have competition because it makes everybody improve. I think Arcade 1-Up would be a better Arcade 1-Up would be a better company right now if they were somebody pushing them. Because right now, Arcade, Legends, and Arcade 1-Up, all three are totally different, right? I mean, they all have their little niche, but they would all do something the same. It would make them all a little better. I mean,
yeah, well. It's because Arcade 1-Up was first. They gobbled up a lot of the big licenses,
Yeah.
And that's good for them. I mean, I don't hate them because of it, but I mean, they did.
Yeah,
they basically scooped up a lot of the prime licenses. They just scooped up. So, but
they don't have Nintendo though. As far as I know, they don't have
Nintendo. Nintendo's not giving their stuff to anyone unless they do it themselves. They're so strict.
Why won't they do it themselves? It's okay, Nintendo, you don't want to give up your license. Do it yourself.
I don't think they don't have to. They don't have to. But I mean, they don't have to. I mean, they just it's the way they're at. But I mean,
but they want to make more money. They get back in arcade business.
One of my good friends, Mikey, he has a Switchcade. He loves it. It's an Arcade 1-Up where you put a Switch in it. Then he gets all the Switch, a lot of stuff off the Switch. But
But they can make more money if they got back into our arcade business.
Yeah.
It's just another niche they can get themselves in. I mean, they're already making a bunch of money. I mean, they see that. I mean, I really think they need to. I mean, it's like Donkey Kong and Popeye and all that. They're about the same size. Well, they're a little bit taller than arcade one-ups.
Yeah.
But all their cabs were the same. So if you started making them again, I mean, people would love it. They were just different colors. It was the same cab.
Yeah.
I would buy one. If Nintendo came out tomorrow with a Donkey Kong or Popeye, I would buy it.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I would I'd probably even pre-order that mug. That might be. I say never pre-order. The only arcade I ever pre-ordered was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Then I got it.
That's right. You didn't pre-order Star Wars.
The title game was jacked up. It had tons of lag in it. It didn't play as good as the Dreamcast. Now they've patched it and they didn't even patch it. The community, like the fight game community, fixed the game. Like they put it out, but the fight game community was the ones that fixed the game. They got it where it's running smoother, but still no online. But that's my favorite That's my favorite fighter.
Which is weird.
Nothing compares to that. Like I did a live stream and I almost hyper comboed every enemy, like on a run through. I love that. I've played it so much. I mean, I just love that game.
But how can you not have Wi-Fi for the original game? It's just weird.
I know. It's like they should have just waited. I mean, hopefully they get it one day because I have it. I actually moved it out of my. I moved it out of my background, but I had it in my background for a long time.
And I love the cabinet. I mean, I almost bought it just because the graphics are awesome on that. I love the colors.
It still moves around too much for me. It should, like, if it's one piece, I'd like it more. So if they ever redo it, don't make it two pieces. Make it one piece. But
it's just
been fun.
It was just weird. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. We've been on here a long time, man.
Yeah, I know. 2 hours, 13 minutes, man. This was epic. But I think it was fun. Thanks a lot for having me on. I appreciate it. And we can do it again. I had a good time.
Dude, anytime, man. If you want to come on next week, come on any other time, just let me know, man.
Let's figure out some good topics. Or better yet, let the community, let your community. I have my own community that they'll comment on all my stuff, but let your community pick out what they would like, maybe a game they want to see, run some polls, and then go by that. Like that's how we did the last show we did, I think it's fun. It's fun when you do that. And it's kind of makes you enjoy it more because people that watch are going to like it because that's what they voted on.
Yeah,
so,
definitely I'll do that. I'll put some polls out there and see if you come on next week. If not,
I'll come on. I'll come on again. No problem.
Yeah, I mean it's so much fun. It's so much more fun, man. I mean, I do it by myself. It's fun, but it's so much more fun. You gotta
have someone to talk to. Yeah. You got to.
I'm used to talking to myself, but it's so much more fun talking to somebody else.
It's no fun monologuing. So
yeah.
Okay, man.
I'm kind of used to that, but I love talking to people, man. I love talking to you, and we'll have to get some guests on here too. I'll try to line up some guests, but I'm only gonna do like one at a time.
Yeah,
You get too many people, like it's just kind of hard. So
it can get chaotic.
But I'll let you know if I ever get anybody on like Hobby Hands or anybody.
Yeah, I'm cool. I get along with everyone, really, honestly.
Oh yeah, I mean,
for the most part, there's only one person that doesn't like me. I'm not gonna say the name, but
I know who it is now.
You know.
Dude, I was shocked. I watched those video last night. I'm like, are you kidding me? This dude is the freaking nicest dude I ever met. I mean, it's like, how can you be that way? It's just weird.
I don't know.
I was shocked.
People want to push you down.
Some people just get jealous.
I don't get it either, I mean, these are just arcades, Why do all that just for arcade, Ridiculous.
We're just having fun. Who gives a crap?
Have fun. That's right.
It's all for fun. I mean, I just enjoy talking to people. I mean, I don't care who you are. I enjoy talking to people. I don't like being by myself. It's just I enjoy talking to people. Everybody has a different experience. Everybody has a different opinion. That's what makes it fun.
That's good. That's what you want. Like, that's what people ask me too. It's like, I don't want people that just going to agree with me all the time. I want people that have different opinions. as long as they're civil, you know, and they're cool, you know. But I like to have people that have different opinions. That's
no.
fun.
Well, we can get in politics if you want to.
Yeah, no, thanks. and with that,
I'm just joking.
Do you have a nifty intro yet?
What's that?
Do you have an ending video or anything you play?
Not for this channel. I had one for my old one, man.
You need to make one. That's a good way to do it. Just have a little clip that you play. Thanks everyone that stuck with us on this stream.
Still got 6 people in here. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, so much. Thanks, Dan Z. Thanks, Hobby Hands. Thanks.
Dan Z's got it right. Dan Z's got it right. He says, I don't care how many games one person has or what they are. I just love the fact of arcades, period. And that's it, man. That's what it's about.
Yep.
You know, this is the golden age. I mean,
like the 80s.
This is the golden age of arcades. I mean, we can have a awesome experience at home. Very much like the best arcades that you go to. So,
see, Hobby Hands says, love to come on when I finish my Star Wars. Dude, Hobby Hands, that would be awesome, man. Right there. Love to come on when I finish my Star Wars cab. So I want to see your Star Wars cab, man. I'll give you the floor. Have you saw Hobby Hands, Papa Brad? He's making a 3/4 scale Star Wars. Looks almost exactly like, it exactly looks like Star Wars. He has an insert and everything. Yeah. Dude, I mean, you'll have all time once you finish that thing, man. I'd love to have him on. That would be so awesome. Yeah. I mean, I love his way. I mean, he does all those lightsaber things. You know, what do you call them? Damn. I drank too much tonight, guys. Lightsaber.
Well, you're streaming for 2 hours. It's 2 hours a long time.
Oh, I know. Hey, maybe one of these days you'll do a 24-hour stream. I'm not. Maybe you will.
I did one of those almost.
Did you really?
Almost. Yeah. I'll tell you about it off stream.
Yeah, I mean, one time I did a 6-hour. Listen to this. My old channel. It's out there.
I did 16 hours straight.
There's still my live stream still out there. I did a Friday the 13th gameplay on PlayStation 4. I did it for I think close to 10 hours. I ended up falling asleep during the stream.
My goodness.
I'm sitting there not snoring. Well, somewhat snoring, but I was on the stream. I woke up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was freaking sleeping on my stream. Most people don't know that. Nobody probably find it. I know where it is, but it was crazy. It was funny because somebody else I knew that streamed Friday the 13th at the same time, he fell asleep like a week earlier. And I was like, look at this fool, man. He's fell asleep. I did a week later. It's like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
That's cool.
Kind of embarrassing. Well, it's kind of embarrassing. I was like sitting there like, I look like I was dead. It's like, but that's why I don't do long streams.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you didn't fall asleep on this one, so you did good.
No, because I have you, man. Because those live streams I always did by myself, and it was just all gameplay. You know,
I couldn't have people on with me. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Yeah, just for fun, get some of these quick videos in there. Things, messages. It's all good. At least you were doing what you love. Yeah, I love this stuff. Friends, good. Hobby Hands, that is funny. Good thing 911 was not called. That's a good thing, Hobby Hands. And let me know when you're done with that Star Wars cab, man, because I want to see it. You haven't posted a video on your Star Wars cab yet for a while. So kind of wondering where you're at in your progress there on that Star Wars. But yeah, definitely, Hobby Hands, you will be on. That'd be awesome. No 911. All right. I'm done.
All right.
Are you done?
Stay legit.
Brad?
Yep. Stay legit.
Stay legit. Thanks, everybody, for staying on. I'll give a little shout out for everybody out there. Give a hand for Papa Brad. Thanks, Handy Hands, Dan Z, Common Sense, Angry, Goofy Foot. Hey, I did good with Goofy Foot tonight.
Yeah. You didn't even say Goofy Feet. So
I didn't say it one time.
Goofy Feet. You didn't say Goofy Feet. Yep. So good job.
Thanks, Brooklyn Menace. Thank everybody for stopping by. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all you guys.
Yeah,
hopefully, you stop by next week on my stream. Hopefully, we'll have Papa Brad on there.
Yeah,
and,
I'll come back.
I'll do a poll and see what we'll talk about next week.
Absolutely. Let your community decide.
Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Hopefully see you guys next week. Until then, I will see ya.
We're still live.